I tell people, do not guess. Cash flow it. At Asset Preservation, we use planning software like eMoney to model the full retirement picture. Income, expenses, taxes, Social Security, investment withdrawals, inflation, healthcare costs. What happens if the market has a bad year?
So it's not just about looking at the account balance.
Exactly. $1 million can be enough for one family and not enough for another. It depends on spending and taxes and income sources and how the portfolio is actually structured. The goal is to see whether your money can support your lifestyle, not in just year one of retirement, but in years 10, 20, 30, and for the rest of the road.
So find out if you have enough money for retirement. Call Asset Preservation Wealth and Tax at 602-877-PLAN or go to assetpreservationwealth.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Foundation Investment Advisors, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisor.
You know, it's been more than a century that Ford has been here for those who build America, for those who believe that giving everything we've got today will pay off tomorrow. If that's who you are, then Ford believes that you should pay what Ford employees pay. American value, literally for American value. St. Paul, Calvi's here, and it's here at our Desert Ford dealers. Employee pricing across a full lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs. Remember, Ford is the #1 selling truck brand in Arizona. So on a 2026 Ford F-150, do not miss employee pricing plus $1,000 cash back on a 2026 Ford F-150, or get employee pricing plus $2,000 cash back on a Ford Explorer and 2025 Ford Bronco while it lasts at our Desert Ford dealers. Just click buyfordnow.com. Based on S&P Global Mobility, retail U.S. new vehicle registrations for the truck vehicle type CYTD October 2025.
The Dean of High School Sports in Arizona, Kevin McCabe, hosts the Kevin McCabe Show Saturday mornings 9 to 11 on the local sports leader. Listen on the Arizona Sports app at 98.7. KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports, is ESPN 620. And now, an on-air sports marketing presentation. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, now on ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD-2, and streaming live at arizonasports.com. The guys are powered by the law offices of Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And now on your ESPN station in Phoenix, ESPN 620, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
All right, welcome in. Happy Thursday to you, everybody. Roc and Manuch with you today from the Scottsdale Twin Peaks. Be with you till 4 o'clock as we get you one day closer to the 4th of July weekend. Got a loaded show. The sports world doesn't take the holiday off. We know that, as the NBA offseason has become an absolute chaos. Of course, it all started with Giannis and LeBron James. Going to be a free agent for the first time in his career. Kawhi Leonard heading to Toronto, or at least back to Toronto. Sixers get an absolute steal with Jaylen Brown. And the Lakers keep loading up around Luka. And right here in Phoenix, well, Suns taking something of a different approach. They're adding people. But, of course, we've talked about Miles Bridges, and then they brought in one of the best three-point shooters in Luke Kennard, and hoping that this roster can compete, I should say, in what maybe the deepest Western Conference we've ever seen. We'll break it all down with 2014 NBA champion and Arizona State Hall of Famer Jeff Ayers. He'll join us at 1:30. Got a lot of World Cup to get into. Of course, Team USA is back into the round of 16, and suddenly it feels a lot different. It seems like this country is believing. The television ratings have been nothing short of incredible. Monday's showdown with Belgium is one of the biggest U.S. soccer matches in years, and it's ironic that USA, which many of you don't know because you don't follow the sport, 3 of the last 4 times in the World Cup, they've been to this round. So it's not like this year's any different than the last 3 out of 4. It's the same. And last time they were in this round of 16, they lost to Belgium. So hopefully we can get them back. So we'll talk some World Cup with Graham Winkworth. He is the ASU women's soccer coach. He's been with us all season, all tournament. Also, David Hayes will join us from the Arizona Athletic Grounds. He has worked for Team USA Soccer, so he will join us too. And we also will get into some football, real football, as we call it, as Cardinals training camp is just 20 days away. Is this finally the year this team can make it step back or step forward or step somewhere? Can they do something different Is this defense good enough? We'll get into that with Howard Balzer as he joins us, and we'll get everything we need to know there. We got our money line today. Got Roc's Man Vice today, as we will celebrate America's 250th birthday this weekend. And Budweiser, they want to buy a beer for everyone. And we got experts that say don't grill burgers. And apparently half of America doesn't shower before jumping into a public pool. So we got to sort all that out. 3 hours packed with sports, business, and a lot of other stuff and everything in between, as we got Max filling in for Laz today back at the ESPN Radio 620 studios. But we are out here at Twin Peaks thanks to Michelob Ultra and Bud Light. But I'll start with the NBA, because this trade with Jaylen Brown and the Boston Celtics and 76ers is an absolute joke. If you're a Boston Celtic fan, if you're a masshole, and you know who you are so pissed off right now. And I'm so happy because finally I can become a Sixers fan again. The process is over, finally. And then they go and get Afreen Simons, and they get him as well.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are the Boston Celtics doing? I mean, it's just stupid.
Wasn't Stevens?
Paul George sucks.
Wasn't Stevens the general manager of the year?
Brad Stevens.
Brad Stevens. Yeah, and they're going, this makes no sense. I mean, you're going to give away one of the top players in the NBA. Quite frankly, he was pushing for the MVP early on in the first half of the year.
He was the Finals MVP 2 years ago.
Exactly. So he's been the dude more so than Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
He's been that guy. You swap him for Paul George. You get basically, and then on top of that, you get 2 first-rounders. You get 2 second-rounders. Draft choice. Yeah, I'm like you, Rob. Draft choices to me, they're virtually potential. If they happen, they happen. That's fine. But you're getting one of the best players, if not the best player in the NBA. And now you look at that lineup with this Philadelphia 76ers, with Mobley and Embiid, if he can stay healthy. Again, there's another legitimate shot for this team to win the NBA East as far as adding one guy. And you get rid of the picks, so what? And I've always felt this way. I'm like you, Rock. Picks mean absolutely nothing unless you get a lottery pick, if that. And you know what? You're looking at Boston. They're probably not going to be a lottery pick in the next 5 or 6 years because they're probably going to win at least 45 to 50 games. But this just made, when this hit yesterday, we went, what? Wait a second. And we had Laz. We read that again when that came down, and he did. And, Paul George, $80 million this year, if he can get half the games, is a bad deal for you Boston Celtic fans.
The sports books tell the whole story. The trade shot the Sixers up around 22-1 to win the title. The Celtics dropped out of the top tier entirely. So I just don't understand I understand the math and everything they need to do, but a 36-year-old Paul George who can't stay on the floor, he's owed $54 million next year with a $58 million player option the year after. His body just breaks down all the time. Of course, he was a great player, but
was.
But when you get Jaylen Brown, as I mentioned, the 2024 Finals MVP, second team All-NBA this past season, he puts up his career highs of close to 29 points a game and 7 boards, throw in 5 assists. I mean, he carried the Boston Celtics when Tatum was dealing with his Achilles. It's just such a joke of a trade.
And Rock,
it's like the NBA needs to step in and go, WTF, what are you doing?
Saving themselves from themselves. That's the old saying. I don't know. Even when they won the title, it was pretty much, you're pretty much Jaylen Brown and Tatum. But Jaylen Brown was the catalyst when they won that title. It was just 3 years ago. How the mighty have fallen after just 3 short years ago that the Boston Celtics were the world champions. And now they're breaking the pieces away. Stevens, you kind of scratch your head. What are we doing? Is it all about the future now? Was it that kind of a run for the Celtics that you enjoyed it? And then the last 2 years, you really didn't make much of a run. You made the run, you made the playoffs, but you couldn't vie for an NBA Eastern title these last couple of years. Indiana won it 2 years ago, and then this past year, you saw the Knicks win it. So this one, you just kind of scratch your head and go, what is the strategy? What is the philosophy for the Boston Celtics? And I look at this lineup for the 76ers, and you're right, Rock. You jump back on that bandwagon of 76ers with this lineup. I mean, you got Maxey, you're going to have Brown, you got Edgecombe, Wade, and I think the biggest question mark is Embiid. He can stay healthy, but still a very damn good team that can now push for the NBA East title.
Yeah, I just don't understand what Boston is doing. This is a team that blew a 3-1 lead to the 7th seed Sixers in the first round. They chased Giannis and they whiffed. Then they handed the same Sixers team an all-NBA wing that they need. That's the story. Not that they're a lottery team, but a franchise that has won it just 2 years ago and then just talked itself out of contention. And I don't know what the next play is. And if that's the only thing I can think here, that's the only thing, is if Brad Stevens could package those 2 first-rounders to chase another star. And, of course, there's the financial angle. 1 year under the tax line, which resets Boston's. They've had repeat penalties. That could be 2. We're seeing it on the surface. We don't know the X's and O's behind the scenes. We're not talking to the CFO. So we don't know what's up. But if all that means something and what they're doing, it could set up a spending spree down the road. And maybe that's what they're doing. So maybe you read this as either they're reloading and not done, or maybe they're going to punt this year and then, punt a year of Tatum's prime. But nobody outside of Boston is betting on the optimistic version of this team right now. You cannot. That you have to go into this season saying major WTF.
Yeah, if they're going to be, I think, relevant or push for a title, they have to make another move, Rock. And my question is who's out there to make the move that replaces dang near 30 points per game that you can trade those picks for? And then, again, it's about where your money is, where your cap is currently at. It's first apron, second apron, which I don't understand that stuff. But if you do, great. But I think that for Celtic fans, even Celtic fans right now are just like scratching their head. I can imagine Jason Tatum, when he heard this news, going, we're getting Paul George? Yeah, at this point, he's on the back end of his career. He's on the twilight of his career if he can stay healthy. So I think Tatum is, if I'm him, I make the call to Steve and say, look, we got to go get somebody else. We have to.
There's the names out there. Trey Murphy, the third of New Orleans. He's a guy that's been out there. Rudy Gobert. There's a few, but there aren't a major big name. Are they going to go after LeBron? No, I doubt it.
Well, that's probably not one of LeBron's. LeBron wants to go where he has a chance to win it all.
Really?
Hey, if they could swing it, that would be great. Matter of fact, he's looking, if he goes to Cleveland or wherever, he just wants to make sure there's enough big-time pieces around him to be able to vie for another ring. 4 rings, 1 more, and I think that's kind of his edict. Now, he might go to Cleveland and they make a move. He'll give them the hometown discount. He's been reported to say the only team he would give that discount would be Cleveland, maybe Golden State. I don't know about Miami, but those 3 teams seem to be the ones. I doubt if Boston's in the hunt for LeBron James. I doubt they. If he goes there, he's going to go, well, we don't have a chance to win it all. Philly, you have a chance to win it all. So now if it is Philly or Cleveland, if he's going to stay in the East, he probably just go back home to Cleveland. Because that group is ready to go.
He's never played with James Harden other than Team USA, right? So he's never been on the same team. It seems like James Harden is on a lot of teams over the years.
And Harden is reported to saying he would take restructure to free up some of the money to get LeBron, whatever that number is going to be. So I think that James Harden, he's getting toward the end of his career too, probably got a few good years left. At some point, you've got to chase the ring and have the ability to chase the ring.
So Jaylen Brown, he spoke today. Sounds like emotions are mixed. It's just a statement just less than 24 hours after the news broke. He's excited and disappointed at the same time. He said he's still processing how it all went down. He thanked the city of Boston, pointed to the relationships he built, the battles he fought, the 2024 championship that he helped bring to the franchise. He said he'll carry that, all that with him. Then he flipped the page, telling Philly fans he's ready to earn their respect, which is a tough place to play. The only way he knows how, and that through work, that he'll get there. It was worth noting that the backdrop of all this was reporting said that the Celtics were, at least this is in Sham's words, full-blown shopping ground around the league, and that Brown himself never asked to be traded. So there's conflicting reports on that, but Sham's coming out now saying, all right, yeah, they've been shopping him. So now he goes to a team that wants him. he's probably going to be more fired up to play.
Yeah, I think that, but he had hinted, Rock. I mean, he had hinted that he wanted out. I mean, he had hinted it wasn't
Because they were trying to trade him for like a year for Giannis.
And I think that, when you hear your name out there, or whether you're wanting to be traded or not, it's kind of like, wait a second, guys. After all I've done, the last 4 or 5 years of my career with you, the championship, being a potential MVP for you, and I think that, and I don't know if they had any after his talking to his agents, that being, boss, where would you like to go kind of conversations. If he says, hey, look, this one came out of the clear blue, but if you're going to do this, I'm sure his agent went, here's some teams we'd like to go to.
Yeah. All right, we're going to get to our replay rewind. Of course, Team USA punches its tickets in round of 16. We got some highlights from yesterday. We got Harry Kane, who saved England late. Get into that. You'll hear from the manager as well for Team USA. And Manuch's favorite player, Dansby Swanson, puts together one of the wildest 3-game stretches that we have seen in a long time. That's next.
Now open in North Scottsdale. It's the Orangedale Lounge. ODs. Right off Thompson Peak and Bell, next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club, a one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills, just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at orangedalelounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selection. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at wrighttoyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out wrighttoyota.com.
Water is Arizona's most valuable resource. And for over a century, Phoenix has led the way in providing reliable water services. Wherever you call home in Arizona, we all share the responsibility to conserve for tomorrow. Watch your water use, especially outdoors. Consider desert-friendly landscaping and water-saving appliances. Together, small changes can make a big difference. Learn more at phoenix.gov/water and help secure Arizona's water future. This message is sponsored by the City of Phoenix Water Services Department.
The biggest soccer tournament on the planet is going on, and there's no better place to catch every match than Twin Peaks. Watch all the action on wall-to-wall TVs with ice-cold 29-degree draft beer, made from scratch food, and game day specials all tournament long. Twin Peaks is going unmatched for every match through July 19th. Cheer on Team USA or your favorite country at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views. $5 locations.
Head to Westworld in Scottsdale as we celebrate America's 250th birthday. The largest fireworks display in Scottsdale history and an unforgettable day of family fun, patriotism, and community pride. Enjoy the action-packed 406 rodeo with bull riding, bronc riding, wild pony races, button busting for the kids, and more. Explore the history of Scottsdale walking tour. Cheer on competitors at the 4th annual Cold Beers and Cheeseburgers Summer Slider Eating Contest Championship and the 3rd annual Water Balloon Championship. See the all-new South Hall Kids Zone, featuring kid-friendly vendors, face painters, activities, and bounce houses. And enjoy everyone's favorite backyard barbecue by M Culinary. Plus, celebrate local heroes during the 7th annual Parade of Heroes. This year, you can reserve front row fireworks seating and secure your spot before Scottsdale's largest fireworks display in history lights up the Arizona sky. Celebrate 250 years of America. Get your tickets today at scottsdaleboard.com. Produced by R Entertainment.
Now it's time for our replay rewind. The top sounds of the night and whatever Rock decides to add. Let's get to it in replay rewind with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620 and on FM at 98.7 HD2.
So we're going long. Team Ray, only man there, able to steer it to Adams, flicks it along to him, but he's got Balogun making a run off him. Can he get around with that ball? To the deflection, Balogun scores! Fall Balogun, first to react to the deflection. He'll do the LeBron celebration. It's 1-0 U.S.
All right, Balogun got the scoring started. That got the score 1-0 just before halftime, and they had the ball the entire half. It was so dominant. I had never seen him dominate a team like that.
I would agree.
And it was unbelievable. You never saw Bosnia with the ball on the offensive side ever. And it was mind-boggling to see the domination in all the shots, but he just couldn't get anything in, and then a couple got taken away and all that. But if there was any doubt, Tillman erased it. A spectacular free kick from the distance, an amazing. I mean, one of the best goals you've ever seen, at least I've ever seen, and it set the U.S. one step closer to the round of 16.
Tillman!
You needed that. I mean, if you're watching the game live, like many of you have, because all the bars were busy. I know there were no seats in all the place I was at, and it was just chaos. But everybody was tense because one wasn't enough. You needed that second one, knowing if you got that second one, because Bosnia then in the second half really started making a play. They had the ball a lot more than they did in the second half. It was almost to the point where I was talking to the guy next to me, and I said, I want to say Arizona. It looks like USA is tired. You know, they just seem like they just didn't have that urgency that they had in the first half. And it was kind of frustrating to see that. And then, of course, the red card, which everybody is talking about. Everybody.
I would say so. By the way, then Freeze had some really nice saves in that second half as well.
Second half, yes.
Yeah, second half, he had some really nice saves.
I mean, he didn't get dirty at all in the first.
No, he didn't. Matter of fact, but he had some real nice saves, punched a few of them away versus catching. I thought that's interesting. A lot of goalies are punching it away versus catching and it not going through their hands. I think that's neat. But I mean, the Balogun red card, I thought it was always if you're attempting to go for the ball and he got the back of his leg and he came down with the spikes. I mean, your attempt was to the ball, not to deliberately spike the guy and do it. That's what they call it because of the viciousness of the foul.
Being malicious, yeah.
Yeah, and I went, wait a second. If he's going for the ball and his foot just happens at his back of his leg, what's he supposed to do? His momentum's carrying him forward. I thought it was a horrible call. They reviewed it, and the coach was, Pochettino went absolutely off. I don't blame him, but they showed it over and over, and yeah, he scraped him pretty good. But I mean, it was the attempt. I think that's the intent of the call.
And the opponent stayed in the game.
He stayed in the game. He was fine.
It looked like he broke his ankle.
Well, he rolled over about 20 times before he got back up.
But when you see it live and you see it in slow-mo,
the ankle roll.
It looked like he broke your ankle.
Yeah,
I mean,
but he didn't deliberately dive at the leg and then press the ankle to hit the roll over. I thought it was very inadvertent, and that's where I think the discretion that was totally wrong. It was inadvertent. I could see maybe a yellow card, if that, but not a red card for something where guys attempting to go for the ball.
There's no intention to hurt.
No, not whatsoever. Not whatsoever.
And Klaus, who is the official, considered a pretty well-known official. He's been doing it. He's from Brazil. There are some TikToks and Instagrams that are out there saying that he was mixed up in a red card fixing matches a few years ago. But I could not find it. Like, I went everywhere. I found another official, but it wasn't him. And it's amazing that there's so much fake stuff online. There's multiple people, and they're sourcing sporting news, and they're going down this road where this guy Klaus has a history of being involved in some fixed matches. Mm-hmm. And there was one thing I did find that he did I guess Messi had thrown him under the bus on some bad calls that he made, and he was pretty vocal about it. But that's all I can find. But I was hoping there'd be something, because then this makes it even a better story. I mean, it makes it a great story if this guy is fixing.
And the USA got away with one tackle that wasn't called, and the Bosnia coach went off. He held the ball forever. And he gave the coach the yellow card. I thought that was interesting. All right. So if he gets another yellow card, I mean, if they'd have won that game, he wouldn't have been able to coach the next game. But it went both ways. There were some really bad calls that he did not call.
I think that I didn't understand. He didn't give the guy the red card immediately. He had to go in the booth. Then he came out and gave the red card. That's where I kind of had a problem. And then, we're all, amateurs, watching the sport. I'm literally blowing up my buddies that I know that know soccer, like David will be honest. I'm like, does this mean that he is out for the next game? And I would say 90% of people watching don't understand the rule.
Yeah.
You get kicked out, you're out down to 10, and then, but the fact that it kind of elevates to the next round instead of being in the same round, where I could see that maybe missing a game, but now it starts from scratch. It just makes no sense. But never a red card.
Yeah.
Come on.
Matter of fact, it was interesting, Rock, when you watched him. He was reaching in his pocket, kind of fumbling around, and then
no, he did not.
I
was doing
I
play-by-play.
thought he did.
I was doing play-by-play at the bar when he literally came out of the box, walked up, and I said, "Guys, look at it! Look at his right hand."
Yeah.
And it was leaning to the side, and I said, "He's got a red card." I said some profanity out loud, and I was just so pissed. And he literally, I said right away, and then everybody was like, "Oh man!" Not that anybody really knew what it meant. It's just so it's amazing how people come out of woodwork.
I just don't understand how he could red card when it was inadvertent. I mean, it was like you see a lot of guys tackle on purpose. They go low. I mean, there's a lot of guys doing stuff flagrantly doing things, and I've seen less. I would say more for and guys getting yellow cards versus a red. I mean, we've seen it throughout this entire tournament. So I don't understand the discrepancy on the review. I think a lot of it was just the way his cleats, dragged on the back of his leg, and then to your point, rolled the ankle over. But it was inadvertent, so a horrible call. And he's out for Monday's game, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because if they do fall to Belgium, that's going to be the storyline.
Oh, you'll be, hey, what if?
One of the best players,
I hate that. It's always like, sometimes, Rock, it seems like there's always something. Always something pops up. And
I come back to home. I am one of the few that I don't like instant replay in football. I hate it in baseball. I've never liked it. Maybe because I'm an old guy, get off my grass kind of guy then, 58 years old, but I hate it. And the VAR, the video assistant referee that they were talking about, some dude sitting in some video room watching the angle of this broadcast in real time, and then he just get to play it in slow-mo. You see that in slow-mo. Yeah, of course it looks like he's breaking his ankle, but, the VAR is not allowed to redo everything, and it did in this situation. I thought it was only supposed to do, from what I read, was 4 specific situations: goals and whether there was a foul or an offside in a build-up, penalty decisions, straight red card incidents, and cases of mistaken identity, where the refs cards the wrong player. That's it. A regular foul, a throw-in, a second yellow, the VAR can't touch those.
Yeah.
But in this case, it did.
Yeah, I thought, typically, to your point, they make the call right there.
Yeah, that's the part that drives me
right
nuts.
there.
That's why I hate instant replay. We got to go up to the booth and we got to look at it again.
See, I'm a fan of instant replay.
Well, it didn't work. It didn't work for you yesterday.
But I think,
because if there's no instant replay, we wouldn't be talking about.
But I think they flawed the rule. I mean, the spirit of the rule is
they need to use it all the time.
Well,
then.
I agree. Matter of fact, a couple of guys, the broadcasters afterwards, were saying, "Hey, look, if you're going to do that in the first half, in the second half, make it consistent," because they all agree that you got to make that call right now, and it's inadvertent. How could you make that? So when you looked at it in slow-mo, you're right. It looked more egregious than it really was. But that official's got to make that call. So when we have Graham Winkworth on at 2:30, the Asia women's coach, who was at the England game yesterday down in Atlanta, we'll get his thoughts on the spirit or the intent of the ruling on that red card.
Another thing to point out is the flopping is so bad. It's ridiculous. It's embarrassing. And I think this is why soccer is not going to get to where it wants to be. You see when Freeze fell and he got hurt.
Yeah.
Guy didn't even touch him, but he made himself hit the ground, so it looked like his head popped up.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on, it's so bad.
And I love when they show in slow motion when they kick the right leg, and they go down, they grab the left leg.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, guys.
It's so bad. I mean, I think we all agree. I mean, you got to be a diehard soccer fan to tell me that it's like wrestling.
Yeah.
It's fake. It's like, stop. It's just freaking stop, because I'm really starting to get into the sport. I'm looking forward to continuing to watch soccer after the World Cup. I'm gonna adopt the team, in the Premier League. I don't know who it is yet, but I was Arsenal many years ago. But it's like, come on, this is just such BS. They got to be able to fix this.
Yeah,
and again, for a sport that makes billions of dollars, why only one referee?
That is interesting.
Why only one? Now, I know the guys on the side can do some stuff. They never do. But
they called 2 offsides yesterday on the USA. The guy they were right there. I mean, they were offside, but those guys have been right there, and you've seen them throughout. But the one official, I just think there's so much going on. And then he let a couple of fouls go. I don't know. I guess when you watch it, you see the inconsistencies.
So much.
It's just ridiculous.
All right, our replay rewind is brought to you by Law Offices of Lerner Rowe. Interact via check. Make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. All right, we know Giannis is on the move. LeBron's a free man. Kawhi's back in Toronto. And Suns, quietly just kind of betting on Miles Bridges and bringing in one of the league's best shooters. We're going to catch up with 2014 world champion, Arizona State Hall of Famer. He will break it down. Jeff Ayers will join us right after. Max hooks us up with an ESPN Radio 620 Sports Center update.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Max Brown. The D-backs couldn't complete the comeback against the Giants last night, falling 6-4 in the series finale despite a 4-run 8th inning led by Ketel Marte. Arizona returns home to open a series against the Brewers tomorrow night, looking to get back in the win column. And in the World Cup, the knockout stage rolls on today. Spain and Austria are currently battling it out with 2-0 with Spain, and Portugal takes on Croatia tonight with a spot in the round of 16 on the line. This ESPN Radio 620 Sports Center update is powered by Twin Peaks. Nobody does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Nobody. Tequila cocktails, premium bourbon, top shelf spirits over ice balls, local craft beers, and those famous Michelob Ultra and Bud Light 29-degree drafts. Pair it all with scratch-made bites that actually satisfy. When it comes to happy hour, Twin Peaks doesn't play. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
We get it. A meal shouldn't cost you nearly $20. And we agree. At Venezia's Pizzeria, lunch or dinner for under $10 is still a thing. And for an even sweeter deal, stop in and grab a Slice Rewards card. Get a stamp for every qualifying Slice special. 10 visits, 1 free qualifying special. Simple. And every Tuesday, we double your stamps. That's your free pizza twice as fast. Venezia's Pizzeria, a family tradition with great rewards.
When hot is not an option, Stay Cool delivers. From patios to warehouses, shops to summer events, Stay Cool's Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube mobile air coolers deliver more air for less money. They're rust-free and backed by more than 40 years of experience keeping you cool. Available now online at Home Depot, Lowe's, and Tractor Supply. Shipped to the store or right to your door. Visit StayCool-Products.com. Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube. Get yours today with free shipping and beat the heat.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Being in an auto accident is traumatic. You need to call the best law firm that has the experience to get you the best results. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
When it comes to your roof, you don't want to mess around. And Arizona homeowners and business owners have known that for over a decade. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer. Residential, commercial, they do it all. And they've been doing it right here in the Valley for over 10 years. Protect your home, protect your business. And hey, keep your roof sexy with State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com. Or call 480-268-4509. State 48 Roofing, Arizona's most trusted roof.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
Cars aren't the only vehicle on our roads. Arizona drivers, don't forget to look out for motorcycles. That means checking your blind spots. Motorcycles are hard to see, day or night. They move and stop quickly, too. So keep your distance whenever you see them and stay focused on the road, not your phone. Make sure you're protecting everyone on our streets. Stay on the lookout for motorcycles. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
It's Thursday, and welcome to Lodge Mentality. The guys are living at Twin Peaks Scottsdale, located on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in the 101. Twin Peaks, the ultimate sports lodge and home of the 29-degree beer, served in perfectly frosted 22-ounce mugs. Here's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
Looking, Manuch to win the game. Yes. Yes.
Welcome to the Lakers show, Luke Kennard. Now the Phoenix Suns. Well, our next guest knows exactly what it takes to win at the highest level. He's got a ring to prove it. He's a member of the 2014 World Champion San Antonio Spurs. He's in the Arizona State Basketball Hall of Fame. You know him. You may have known him as Jeff Pendergraft. He's Jeff Ayers, and he is here to break it all down. Jeff, Roc and Manuch, what's up, buddy? How are you today?
That was good, man. I'm blessed and highly favored. I woke up this morning, life is good.
Life, it's good when you wake up, and I love it. So you've seen a lot of off seasons, all right? So be honest with me. This has got to be one of the wildest star movement type summers you can remember. Or is this just actually this is basketball right now? It's just the way it is.
I think it's both. I think this is just the way basketball is now. But you know, earlier, like in my career, it'd be one or two superstars that come into free agency and everybody's figuring out how to get them. The fact that there's so many guys moving right now, I don't think it's ever been like this before.
Yeah, it's been nuts. And, you know, the Jaylen Brown trade, what is your take on that one? I grew up a 76ers fan, born in Philadelphia. I'm looking at this like now I can start rooting for the Sixers again because finally the process is over. And you got another superstar over there. What was Boston thinking?
I don't know. Like it's tough for me because you would think that all these teams preach so much about loyalty and wanting players to stick around, and you sign somebody that, you know, at the time I think Jaylen Brown had the highest paying contract, you know, until more recent signings, but you know his max deal was like the first like $400 million plus deal. And then now you're shipping him when he was carrying your team to the playoffs this year or through the season while Jason Tatum was recovering. Like, I don't know. You banked on Jaylen Brown and now you're ready to ship him off for Paul George. Man, I don't know.
You know, and Jeff, it's interesting. Paul George and then 2 first-rounders, 2 second-rounders. And for me, you know, watching, I know Roc as well, draft choices, I think nowadays mean nothing. Because you look at the Knicks, all those guys were traded to New York, veterans. They won a championship. There's not a lot of guys that get that, unless you're one of the top 10 lotteries, that will go and contribute right away. It's usually a 2 or 3 year process. So, yeah, this just looks bad for Boston. You just wonder what Brad Stevens, the general manager of Boston, was thinking.
Yeah, I think when you look at the trades and look at the draft pick, you would think that it's like, oh, they're trying to plan for later, you know, trust the process and build the young talent. It's usually more like cap space. They want to get rid of Jaylen, let Jason Tatum be the focus. They'll probably get rid of Paul George or let him ride it out for a little bit, whatever. But the extra picks are probably so they want to have that extra cap space. Maybe they might get a future superstar. Chances are low. They're probably just trying to play so that they're not paying so much in luxury taxes or whatever they got going forward.
Jeff Ayers joining us. You can follow him on X at Jeff Ayers AZ. Let's talk about Kennard. You know, the Suns fans, they see a 48% from the three. You got to get excited over that, especially what they just gave up. But you play defense at a high level. What does adding another guard like that, how does that change the defensive question mark that a lot of people have been talking about, that you got to have some defense to win games in the league now?
Honestly, stretching the floor has never been a problem or like a bad thing. That's been a goal for especially Suns for, you know, back when D'Antoni was coaching and all that high-paced offense. But, you know, the more you can space the floor, especially behind the three-point line, with your guards, the more it opens up your space for your pick and roll game. Now guys can't help so much when you got Bicos going to the rim, ISOs with D-Book. Like now you have more space. This is gonna let Koa, get kind of fill into his role a little bit too, like and add more space. Like the court gets so strong even with that defensive 3-second rule. It's still so small that if you don't have any threats on the wings, like you can't score. Look at what happened with like Detroit. People are packing the paint. Orlando, like they're both teams that don't shoot the ball really well, but they got guys who can score. But if you can't shoot the ball, like you're not going to win games. It makes the other team's defensive scheme so much easier to execute when your whole team, 4 or 5 players, can pretty much pack the paint.
Jeff, and do they have? I mean, you get rid of Grayson Allen, Royce O'Neal, so you got Gillespie, you got Kennard, Brea if he plays much at all. So do the Suns have enough shooters per se to take this team beyond the play-in and into the playoffs in your estimation?
I think they got enough shooters. As long as the talent, the superstars do their job, it'll make the shooters' jobs easier. If D-Book is out here doing his thing and carrying like he does, it's going to make these other guys' jobs way easier. They're not going to have to be coming off pick and rolls and shoot threes. They can focus on some pin down actions. You can run D-Book off the pin downs and have these guys initiate the offense and have them space away. So while everybody's jumping to guard D-Book, now these shooters have more space. So there's going to be creative ways for the coaches to have to figure it out, but it's never a bad thing.
It's interesting you bring that up because when you watched the San Antonio Knicks finals, three-point shooting wasn't a priority. They were like 30, 32%, the Knicks specifically. So to your point, they won with the inside-out game, going to the rack and hitting some key shots and key rebounds. So I went back and looked. It wasn't that prominent in this finals with the three-point shooting.
No, and honestly, that was the Achilles heel for San Antonio. They when they were playing really well, they were getting downhill, they're getting in transition, they're getting stops, they're getting fast breaks, they're at the rim. Stephen Castle's at the rim, Wemby's obviously at the rim. But when they just started settling for all these threes, that's when they started having those droughts. And New York was taking advantage of it, getting out in transition, wearing Wemby out, so he couldn't just be that defensive anchor that he usually is. So, but they did hit clutch threes when they needed it. So you can't just not have non-shooters. OG Anunoby hit some huge shots. Shannon, whenever he was on the floor, everybody was freaking out, making sure they know where he was at. And then obviously you got Cat, who's probably one of the best, if not the best shooting big man in the league. You got to guard him too. So, they had threats all over the place. Even if their numbers weren't super high, like they're not shooting 45, 50%. Not everybody's Steph Curry. But they guys can shoot the ball well enough to create space for Brunson to get downhill, Bridges to get downhill, Josh Hart to crash on rebounds. You know what I mean? Like they made it work.
So give me the scouting report on Miles Bridges. You gave up Grayson Allen and Royce O'Neal. Good trade. Help the Suns move forward.
I think so. I think he's gonna feel like a little bit of a gap, like with Marcus Smart and in between like Marcus Smart and like Dillon Brooks. Like he's gonna play defense. He's gonna get in people's faces. He's no pushover, but he can score. He likes big moments. He's been around other superstars. Like he's a budding star. So I think it's just a good balance. It seems like it's a lot to give up, and obviously you're not gonna know if it was worth it until he comes out and really falls out. But I mean, I think the chances of him actually really contributing and making an impact for the Suns is pretty high.
All right, Jeff, LeBron James is a free man for the first time ever. If you're advising him, legacy, money, a real title shot, where does he go?
All right, well, let's go with the stuff he doesn't need. He does have titles, but you can always get more.
Okay.
I don't think he needs any more money. Legacy, legacy, that might be something he really cares about. Might not be. It's not like he's so vocal about, that's what he's continuing to play for. So I think it all depends. I don't know what's going on in his head. I know a lot of fans, media, even some other players will kind of lose a little bit of respect if he goes and jumps on another superstar team. It might hurt his GOAT debate that everywhere he's gone, he's been a +1. If he didn't go anywhere and not have somebody. So if he wants to continue and push that GOAT debate, maybe he'll go to a bad team and just rock out. Maybe he'll go somewhere and take a less of a role and just win. But, I wouldn't mind seeing him with the Spurs. I think he could help Wemby, but it's like, you know, but now he's with Wemby. Does that put a stain on LeBron's legacy that he won another championship, but with Wemby versus LeBron just being LeBron? You know, so it doesn't matter where he goes. Like, he's the oldest player in the league pretty much now, and you know, all these young guys are superstars. So anywhere he goes, people are probably going to be saying the same thing no matter what.
How does it work in the locker room? You know, do you want the circus with a LeBron James on your team? So say if you're on that roster in San Antonio and they add LeBron James, yes, there's a side of that. He's one of the best players ever to play the game. But the circus, the last year of his career, and everywhere you go, you know, someone's giving him a Harley, someone's giving him a grand piano. I mean, it's all kinds of crazy stuff. How does that play out in the locker room?
Honestly, it depends on the staff. Like, coaching staff and the guys that are already established would have to set the precedent. Like, hey, we know you, LeBron, but you're coming here. You know, we're not going to you. So it's going to be on LeBron. If he's already talking about taking a minimum deal, so he's kind of putting his ego to the side. He wants to win or do whatever he wants to be with whatever position and whatever team he wants. You would think that when he comes in, they let him know, like, hey, as long as stuff doesn't become a distraction, like, we're not going to let you just take this over to become the LeBron circus. Like, you're here to help us win. And, you know, if we talk about San Antonio, they've already had the circus. Like, Wemby's a walking circus. So it's not like it's added attention. It's just added distractions to, you know, what do you guys think about LeBron being in his final year? What do you guys think about being LeBron's teammate? Everything's going to be about LeBron for a little bit. You know what I mean? But eventually they're going to win and it won't matter. So, you know, just teams got to have to be prepared for that circus. And you want to have a little bit more veteran guys than the young guys who are, you know, either starstruck, don't have the training, the media training to handle that type of stuff, that attention. You know, now you're LeBron's teammate versus you could have been whoever you are in the NBA, but now you're LeBron's teammate. And that's just extra attention, pressure, whatever, that some people might not have wanted or be already prepared to deal with.
And, you know, Jeff, you know James Harden better than anybody. Your alumnus there at Arizona State. And if he does go to Cleveland, let's say goes that route, the knock is, well, can James Harden handle that? Seems like he's also willing to restructure his contract to make sure something like that could happen. Does he have a bad rap as far as that's concerned, or is he more of a teammate than a lot of folks see?
I think he's more of a teammate than a lot of folks see, but he's been having to balance, you know, being a superstar and an excellent teammate. And it's just been really tough to try and get that to work with the places he's been. But I think he would definitely want to take less money and restructure his stuff to win, because this is like one of the only things he doesn't have is an NBA championship. You know, he's got a gold medal. You know, he's got an NBA MVP. Like, he's got the scoring titles, multiple. Like, the only thing missing for his full career to really make sure he's a guaranteed, I think he should go to the NBA Hall of Fame anyways, but to make sure he's a guaranteed NBA Hall of Famer, you know, would be that he got to get that NBA championship.
It's all about the championship. Jeff, great stuff today, man. Thanks so much for jumping on. We'll do this again soon.
No, pleasure, guys. Thank you for the call, man, and I'm glad to be on and talk basketball with y'all. I could do this all day.
You guys, Jeff Ayers joining us here, of course, as Sun Devil legend, NBA world champion. His 4 seasons in Tempe from 25 to 09. He piled up 1,500 career points, 942 rebounds, second most in history, and became the only player ever to lead the Sun Devils in rebounding in all 4 of his seasons. So
he was a dude, man. Yeah, he got down that court.
I know he would have liked to play in the league a little bit longer. You know, he played at Portland, Indy, of course, San Antonio, and the Clippers. Did get to beat LeBron in the Heat in the final, so that was probably good. I'm sure he liked that. But he's in the Arizona State Athletics Hall of Fame. Last year he went in, so it did change his name from Jeff Pendergraft to Jeff Ayers, A-Y-R-E-S, Manuch.
My bad.
Good stuff there. You know, you can't spell somebody's name.
A-Y-E-R-S, didn't I have that?
All right, he's brought to you by All City Towing. All City Towing, of course, they're in Tempe, Arizona's largest towing company, whether you're stranded or need a professional transport. All City has the experience to get the job done right. 24/7, 365 days a year. They're hiring all types of positions. So if you want to join the winning team, just go to their website, allcitytowing.com. Sadly, we got some heartbreaking news, tragedy involving former Cardinal star Calais Campbell's family. And the next Harrison is headed to Ohio State. Jet Harrison keeps one of the football's greatest family legacies alive. We'll dive into that next. Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B here on ESPN Radio Phoenix.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
Rock for WhiteToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on WrightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WrightToyota.com.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
Right in the heart of Arizona Athletic Grounds, one of the largest youth sports complexes in North America. Bristol's is the ultimate hangout for families and sports fans in Mesa. Come experience amazing double-decker cheeseburgers, award-winning wings, smoked barbecue, and fresh, craveable salads. With seating for 500, a full bar, 20 beers on tap, and over 100 TVs, happy hour Thursdays, Friday and Sunday from 4 till 6, plus trivia night every Thursday night. Bristol's, where Mesa comes to eat, watch, and win.
Across the country, opioid overdose deaths are going down. But in Arizona, they're rising. And it's not just opioids. Deaths linked to meth, cocaine, and kratom are increasing too. This is a crisis, but it's one we can change. Honest conversations about drug risks can save lives. Be part of the solution. Visit TalkNowAZ.com for tools and resources. Sponsored by the Substance Awareness Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
Together we are stronger. Together we create hope. Together we are NAMI Walks. Join us for the 22nd annual NAMI Walks Valley of the Sun on October 10th, 2026, as Maricopa County comes together for one powerful purpose: mental health for all. Have you registered yet? Visit NAMIVOS.org. That's NAMIVOS.org. And join our walk today, because together we can make a difference.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B want to take you back. A quick reflection on some of the more memorable moments in sports and pop culture. Now, time for your Wright Toyota On This Day report. Wright Toyota, right on the corner, right on the price. Wright Toyota in Scottsdale.
All right, on this day in 1941, Joe DiMaggio did something on the baseball field that no one has touched in the 85 years since, as the Yankee Clipper launched a 3-run homer against the Red Sox to push his hitting streak to 45 straight games. And in doing so, he shattered a record that stood since the 1800s. He wasn't done. He kept going for 11 more games, all the way to 56 straight, a number that has survived every era, every generation of a hitter, and still stands today as one of the most untouchable records in all of sports. Joe DiMaggio.
Was it Rose got to 45 or 44, 45, I forget. But you know what's interesting about that? The day he went 0 for 3, 0 for 4, he got robbed of some great plays in the outfield. In fact, the last at bat, the left fielder made a nice catch running to his right. After that 0 for, he hit another 10 to 15 games in a row, had another hitting streak going. Otherwise, he might have about 65, 70 straight games.
All right, that is on this day. One more real quick. In 2012, Tiger Woods won the AT&T National for career win 74, passing Jack Nicklaus for second on the all-time.
It's just incredible.
Yeah, it was fun time.
I mean, guys that win 2 or 3 on tour, 74. That's just
all right, let's get to football at 50. A heartbreaking story involving former Cardinal, current Raven, Calais Campbell. His 71-year-old mother was found dead inside her home in Atlanta after family members requested a welfare check. And the authorities have charged Calais' older brother with murder, aggravated assault, possession of a weapon during the commission of the felony. So according to investigators, they found her unresponsive inside the home after the welfare check. And his brother, Calais' brother, was reported barricaded inside the residence before being taken into custody without incident. Now, there is talk that, of course, Calais' brother had some mental issues, and that may have played into this. But the Campbell family released a statement asking for privacy, and not good. And we know Calais will get ahead of this. He'll be out. He's one of the guys that will talk in front of the media, and he has no problem talking to the media.
Yeah, very, very, very sad. And it is mental health, folks, and I cannot tell you how much that is. Mental health is just as much of a problem as a lot of the diseases and sicknesses out there. Also, this just happened this morning. Very sad news for a lot of you Jayhawk fans, a lot of you LA Ram fans. As Leroy Irvin passed away at the age of 68. Leroy, one of the top players ever to come out of KU. He was a top safety / corner for the LA Rams. And one thing about Leroy Irvin, don't forget, on my 81-yard run, you guys hear on the Manuch's clipboard every Tuesday during football season, he's the player that ran me down on the 81-yard run to run me out of bounds. He was fast, athletic, and he was a great pillar in the community, folks, in Los Angeles. Leroy Irvin passes away this morning at the age of 68 years old. So, got to report a guy, but when there's some of these outstanding individuals pass away, and then when you see the tragedies, it just goes to show you, Rock, none of us are immune from tragedies or from issues in life. That covers all gambit. They don't care how much you make and who you are, what kind of fame you have.
All right, number one overall recruit in class of 2028 is a 5-star wide receiver, and his name is Jet Harrison. He is heading to the Buckeyes. Yes, the 5-star wide receiver from St. Joe's Prep, the son of Pro Football Hall of Famer Marvin Harrison Sr., the younger brother of Marvin Harrison Jr., and he is going to Ohio State like his brother. And he picked the Ohio State over Oregon and Miami, and you got it. I mean, Ohio State is, of course, wide receiver U.
Well, he absolutely follows his brother there, and you just think about, I'm sure that they gave him a very handsome NIL deal, and now these young men understand that once you sign, you got 5 years to finish. And if you want to take that extra year to get your master's and get that extra year, you can come out after your 4th year. But another one of the solid players to help Ohio State reload. Now reload as they do.
And they have had 11 wide receivers with at least 4,000 career NFL yards, more than any other school. The Chris Carters, Terry Glenn's, Mike Thomas, the list goes on and on. I think right behind, you got to put USC with Lynn Swann, Keyshawn Johnson, LSU, Odell Beckham Jr., Jarvis Landry, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. Maybe Miami, you can put him in there too with Michael Irvin, Reggie Wayne.
Sure.
There's been some really good guys. They got to flag Larry Fitzgerald, of course, because he's the local.
I'm sure those alumni checks.
He could get in Ohio State again. Come on, Larry.
I doubt it. But those alumni checks from those receivers, I'm sure, going strong to Ohio State.
All right, next we follow the money. Baseball may be headed towards another labor war. NBC is making a major League Baseball play, and baseballs are flying again. Why? We'll get into that. Rock's fan vice as well, and then we'll talk some World Cup as we're coming to you live from the Twin Peaks in Scottsdale, thanks to Michelob Ultra and Bud Light. Where it's all the watch parties at all 5 Valley locations. The places have been packed. Talking to the owner yesterday, you couldn't get into Glendale. It was crazy. All right, we'll come back next.
Hey, I'm not one to say I told you so, but do you remember last year when I told you that Pure Talk was hands down the best wireless company that I'd ever used? Well, some of you were skeptical, but Consumer Reports just asked 120,000 people to rate every wireless company in America, including the big boys. Well, guess which company was the only company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. Coverage, support, value, data. 5 stars across the board. No service contracts, no cancellation fees, just great U.S. customer service on a crazy fast 5G network for a fraction of what you've been paying. I'm not going to say I told you so, but I will encourage you one more time to dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to a 5-star American wireless company that won't let you down. Pure Talk.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Joe Fallon did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he commissioned a portrait of himself. Does Joe already know what he looks like? Yes. Do guests know what he looks like? Also yes. But not his art. It's Joe's savings, and if he wants to spend it on a velvet painting of himself with a white tiger at his feet, we say, roar, Joe, roar. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Game on Peoria. When it's time to eat big, drink cold, and watch every play, make it Big's American Bar and Grill in the P83 district. Big's is serving up huge portions of your favorites. Burgers, wings, nachos, plus a full bar and TVs everywhere you look. And don't miss happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6:30 p.m. with $2 off well drinks and $2 off domestic drafts, plus daily specials all week long. Bring your friends, grab a seat on the patio, and settle in for the game. Big's American Bar and Grill, where Peoria comes to play, eat, and watch.
Don't be fooled by the people you meet on social media. It may start as an innocent conversation, but anyone who tries to sell you pills or powders is nothing more than a drug dealer. And if you think tiny amounts can't do much harm, think again. Fentanyl can end it all. Know the truth about fentanyl at learnmoreaz.org. Don't be fooled. Don't be faked out. Visit learnmoreaz.org. Sponsored by Substance Awareness Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports. Is ESPN 620. Money makes the sports world go round, and nobody follows the dollars like we do. This is the Money Line, where Rock takes you off the field and into the boardroom, the courtroom, and the bank. The deals, the contracts, the franchise sales, the billion-dollar bets, the business that runs the games you love. Grab a pen because this is your trip around the business of sports. Let's get into the Money Line.
All right, a lot of stuff to get into today where sports meets business. This could be the biggest business story in baseball. It's the collective bargaining agreement expires after the next season. The owners reportedly are preparing proposals that will include a salary cap and a salary floor, limits on free agent contract lengths, changes to free agency, while the Major League Baseball Players Association wants to eliminate player prop betting. So are we headed towards another lockout? All indications are yes. I'm going to bet that they're not. I'm probably one of the, based on what? Just feeling. I was in the minor leagues. I was at the San Francisco Giants with the last one, and minor league still went on. And it was great for us because we were the only baseball in town. But I just think that there's too much money at stake. I think the TV networks, and we're going to talk about NBC, they control it.
I think I would hope that the players see that, Rock, and what they're looking at is how the hard cap's going to limit them. They feel it's going to limit them on how much they can make moving forward. That's not necessarily true. What their complaint is, if you're going to only have a hard cap, and let's say if I'm due my comps are 25 to 30 million a year for next year, they want to stay with that team and continue to win, but the team may not be able to afford them. And like the National Football League, they would have to go move on to another team. So they'd have to declare free agency. So you declare free agency, yeah, they can go make their money, but the whole thing is they want to stay. They want to keep the nucleus, the core nucleus, like the Dodgers, like the Yankees, like a lot of big market teams, which even Phillies. I mean, look at Schwarber, look at Harper's, look at their contracts. They don't want to all of a sudden go, hey, I want to stay here. But the Phillies go, well, we got a hard cap. But, hey, Schwarber, we got to trade you. We got to let you become a free agent because we can't afford to keep you. That's a lot of their contention, Rock, is being able to stay, but a hard cap won't allow that to happen.
All right, the baseballs are flying again, and players have noticed it. The numbers prove it. This past month, balls are traveling 6 to 8 feet farther. Home runs have exploded. The drag is at its lowest level since 2019. Meanwhile, half of this year's baseballs reportedly had a manufacturing defect that turned them into yellow balls. Yeah, guys, we get it. Yellow balls. And not blue balls. But Major League Baseball said that these two stories aren't connected, but there's some players that have said something is going on. You know, baseball says it's a coincidence. Players say no chance.
Remember, was it, 2018, 2019, they said the balls were juiced. Yep. And they were jumping out of the park left and right. And I guess, I haven't really noticed because the Diamondbacks don't hit a lot of home runs, but other teams, look at Caminero for Tampa Bay. He's hit, 6 home runs, 6 games in a row he's hit a home run. Now, these guys have squared the ball up. When you see a lot of these home runs, Rock, you don't see any pop-outs or a guy get a ball that comes off the bat, not squared it and not go out. But I don't know. If they are juiced, so be it. It makes it more entertaining. Everybody loves the long ball. Teams get back into a game with the home run. So I don't think fans are too worried about a ball being juiced or not. They kind of enjoy all the home runs that are flying out of the ballparks.
So NBC's Major League Baseball takeover. We know ESPN is out. NBC is in. And NBC now owns the Sunday night baseball game as well as wild card rights. And many believe the future of baseball television is this. Some broadcast TV with the streaming, with Peacock. That is what we're going to see. Baseball is trying to copy the NFL television model. I don't know if you could go 12 streaming services like the NFL is now. And it's a problem. Like, for instance, I had a call with my business partners yesterday for our bar. And we have DirecTV. The Sunday Ticket and DirecTV are having their issues. And if this can't get resolved, there are hundreds of thousands of bars that have DirecTV that will have trouble getting the ticket, or they're going to have to flip over and get YouTube video or YouTube TV and whatever else, and then or have to get rabbit ears for just to get the 3 games we get during the day and the 1 Sunday night game.
It's getting confusing, Rock, as to where to go to find who or what. And what I see yesterday, I don't know if you saw where Netflix is looking to try to take over Thursday Night Football. They're looking to get in and reps Thursday Night
Right
Football.
now, Amazon has it.
Right, they do, but they're trying to get involved where they have one of the games. I'm going, okay, Netflix, Amazon, ESPN, over-the-air TV. I thought I'd read that Netflix is also looking to try to get involved with that as well, too. Now, I know of Christmas, I believe they're going to have the 3 different streaming services along with CBS and NBC, regular TV, to go ahead and show the games. But it's almost like, you know what, one game, it's going to be frustrating because if you want to go see your team, to your point, in a bar, DirecTV, they can flip on the Packers or the Bears or the Steelers, whatever, and you can't do that at home, or it's going to cost you extra at home. There'll be a lot of folks that have to make some kind of budget decisions from their living room couch.
So NFL Plus is the league's app, about $7 a month. It streams every out-of-market and primetime game, but it's only on phones and tablets. It doesn't work on your TV because it's an app. You got Arizona. You got Amazon Prime Video. That's the Thursday night, which is part of the Prime membership or Prime Video. Peacock will carry all the NBC games, including the Sunday night game, plus one exclusive Peacock game, which will be the Wednesday kickoff game. That's the Patriots and the Seahawks, which opens up with September 9th or 10th, whatever that first Wednesday is. Paramount will stream all the CBS games in our local market and the postseason. Netflix, this season, they have 5 games. They got the Week 1 international game on the Thursday, which will be the 49ers and the Rams, and then the first ever Thanksgiving Eve game. And to Manuch's point, they will have 2 of the Christmas games. So it's not 3 streaming, it's 2. So they got Packers, Bears, Bills, Broncos, and then they'll have a playoff game. And then ESPN streaming service, they will carry the ESPN and the ABC, and they'll cover the Monday night football. And then YouTube TV, which is the home of the NFL Sunday Ticket. Of course, that costs between $350 and $400, almost $500 to get all of those. But if you just want the simplest way to get nearly everything,
yes, please,
a live TV streaming bundle like YouTube TV, Fubo, Hulu, Sling will get you all the 6 networks, which is the CBS, Fox, NBC, ABC, ESPN, and NFL Network. But you still would need to get the Prime Video for the Thursday. So the only way to get close to that is to bundle a streaming service, the ones that I just mentioned, the YouTube TV, Fubo, Hulu, Plus TV, Live, it's called, or Sling. And that'll get you all the networks.
Wow. I remember 10 years ago, it was so simple. Just ESPN, NBC, CBS, ABC. But, yeah, the NFL, they're taking advantage of it. Looks like Major League Baseball is. I don't know much about what hockey's doing and how they do. I know NBC's a big part of them, too.
So PGA Tour ratings are up. Great timing for them as their biggest events are showing huge television gains as they are looking for some future media rights negotiations. Tour desperately needed this with the momentum after the live split. So better ratings equal more leverage for them. The watch parties are a big business now. We're seeing teams have figured out something there. You don't have to have a home game anymore. We saw the Rams, the Mariners, the Knicks all selling tickets to the stadium watch parties for road playoff games. The fans buy the food, the beer, the merchandise. They get the parking, so they're able to monetize on that. President Donald Trump, his financial disclosure revealed nearly $395 million in golf-related revenue. Doral alone generated $122 million. So that shows owning golf courses can make you a lot of money. So good job there, President. Pac-12 returns to Las Vegas. The rebuilt Pac-12 is going to have both their basketball tournaments back in Las Vegas. Good move for them. They got the sponsors, the hotels, the casinos. It's a neutral site. So hopefully this can give the Pac-12 the credibility that it needs.
To give them a shot in the arm, that's that B12 shot that they're going to need. I mean, you think of the Pac-12 and I go, okay, I can barely think of 2 or 3 teams because the Big 12 in our market here is just so dominant that you think of the Pac-12. Anything they can get to boost any kind of branding or any kind of marketing or put any of those teams on the map is well thought.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it is because I think at that point, I mean, if you think of the Pac-12 decimated, 2 teams, and they're gathering other teams for football, and they got to put themselves back on the map in reference to being any kind of relevancy. And any one of those teams to have a shot, whether it be a championship in football or being back in basketball or prominent in the tournament, I think is something everybody goes, okay, the Pac-12 is back. Because a lot of folks back east go, Pac-12. There was only 2 teams last time I checked. So then with the addition of the teams.
How many are there now? I don't even know.
I think there are 8. It's up to 8.
I haven't looked.
Yeah, with the football and some of those Mountain West teams, I'd have to double check, but I want to say 8. They're trying to grow, and I know that UNLV had turned them down, which I thought was interesting. Of all the cities that turned them down, I think it was UNLV, and then some of the other teams that are slowly getting back into this year, next year, for the Pac-12, a storied conference many years ago that fell by the wayside because everybody evacuated for bigger bucks.
Yeah, I was hoping that it would just absorb some of the smaller conferences and just keep the name but here's the challenge. I mean, do you like the Big 10 and the Big 12, even though they don't have 10 and 12?
Sure, I like it. I mean,
why don't they just come up with a new name? Why don't they just sell it to Pepsi or Dr. Pepper or whoever and say it's a Dr. Pepper conference and just move on? Seriously, why is the Big 10 if there's more than 10 schools?
I don't know, Rob. We've been thinking about that for years. It's Big 10, Big 12. You got 16 schools. I think it's all about that logo, that Big 12 logo, that Big 10. It's like a B, X0, or X1, whatever they have. I don't know, just the traditional. Well, now it's the Big 16. Well, then you got 16 teams in the Big 12. Where does the Big 12 come? So I don't know. Maybe you do get a major sponsor over the next several years. Or Heck, 5 years from now, we're going to have super conferences anyway.
Yeah. All right, coming up, Rock's Man Vice. America turns 250 this weekend. And only in this country can July 4th include Budweiser trying to buy a beer, buy everyone a beer. And we got some chefs that are coming out telling you not to grill burgers. And this Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce wedding, are you freaking kidding me? We're going to get into that a little bit. It's America's birthday, and we got stories, and it's good stuff. So stick around. Rock's Man Vice next.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Attorney Kevin Rowe. Getting rear-ended once is bad enough. Don't let the insurance company hit you again with a lowball offer. Call an experienced attorney who knows how to fight and win. Call Lerner and Rowe today. 977-1900.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selection. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out WrightToyota.com.
When it's game time in the Valley, you know what time it is. It's Twin Peaks time. Head to Twin Peaks with 5 Valley locations and massive screens everywhere you look. From basketball, baseball to hockey, fights, and more. There's no better place to catch every play and all the action. Bud Light is a proud partner of sports fans everywhere. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
Living in the Valley of the Sun means we're always battling the heat on the golf course, at work, or just getting through the day. To stay sharp, you need more than energy. You need hydration. You need Phoenix Hydration Energy, spelled Phoenix, like the city we love. Phoenix gives you clean, natural energy from green tea, plus 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks. No crash, no junk, just pure performance. Grab Phoenix Hydration Energy today at 7-Eleven, Quick Trip, or Circle K. Phoenix Hydration Energy. Rise up.
Do you roll like rock when it comes to romance?
What do you say we go out on a date? Some chicken, maybe some sex. You know, see what happens.
Rock searches the world for tips on dating, divorce, marriage, pop culture, and even... Yeah, here's Rock's Man Vice.
60% of the time, it works 50%.
All right, with America turning 250 this weekend, and somehow we have everything. Cities fighting over who does July 4th best. Brands accused of not loving America enough. Budweiser trying to buy the country a beer. We got some chefs telling us not to grill burgers. We got public pools full of dry strokers. Yes, you're going to like that one. How about seagulls are making people sick? And Taylor Swift allegedly is building a castle in Madison Square Garden. So happy birthday, America. We're weird, but we're still undefeated. So here we go. Wallet Hub has the best July 4th cities. The top 5 are Las Vegas, New York, Orlando, Los Angeles, and Minneapolis. Scottsdale comes in at number 13. I'll take that as a win, as Scottsdale has the huge Scottsdale fireworks at Westbrook. Huge event with a rodeo. There's still tickets available. just across the street where we are at today at Twin Peaks, Scottsdale. By the way, after a great place to come for something to eat after, even though there's food and food trucks and this is their biggest fireworks they've ever had. And I believe this is year 14 or 15. But if you are looking for something in Scottsdale, of course, there's other fireworks shows in the valley, but this one, they got it down because they have the inside. You go into Westworld, you can get food. There's all kinds of different events going on. The Wright Toyota's a big partner out there. They're doing a parade for veterans, and it's just a great atmosphere. So hopefully you get out there. Lawn Starter ranked the best cities for outdoor parties. And the top cities included New York, LA, Chicago, San Diego, Miami, Washington, Atlanta, Boston, Seattle, and San Francisco. Arizona, Texas didn't even make it. Glendale and Chandler were on the bottom of this list of like 500. Glendale just still can't get out of their own way. They really can't. I mean, the fact they let the Coyotes go because they couldn't figure out how to manage an arena, they could have made this work. They could have. But
and you got the facilities out there. And you got
it's a great area.
Big time.
So with American Turn at 250, some shoppers say stores are full of World Cup merchandise, and they're trying to make too much money off of us. Back in 1976, that was like the last one. The bicentennial was everywhere. This year, not so much. I mean, Coca-Cola's got some cans, Cheerios doing something, Mountain Dew's doing American Dew. But, the hats, shirts, I mean, I don't know. I mean, would you go out and buy a 250 shirt?
No, I probably wouldn't.
I'd rather just something clean that says USA on it.
I know that.
Or just July 4th.
I know the bicentennial, they were selling a lot of polos with like the red, white, and blue. I mean, there's a lot, not so much fanfare as there is now.
Yeah.
But you'd go into stores, you'd see stuff. Hey, celebrate the bicentennial. I remember ASU had a huge bicentennial show that, what's his name? The guy that sings America, is it Green? Famous song that Trump always plays all the time. Proud to be an American.
Yeah.
Big concert. Hey, the Osmonds, it was him and a couple others to celebrate there at Sundown Stadium. Matter of fact, I was there raising money, going up and down the aisles. I was selling Cokes and taking that money to help raise funds. So never forget that. The Osmonds and Green and all the other folks there.
So Budweiser gave away $6 digital gift cards for America's 250th birthday through its Covering America's Tab promotion. Tab was $150,000, and it ran out in 35 seconds.
Tab, man. I mean,
wouldn't it be like $1 million if you're trying to serve everybody? Why wouldn't you do, instead of a $6 digital card, maybe do a smaller number? But I guess maybe you can't get a Budweiser can for $6.
I don't know. That's it. Just all I know about Tab is like just colored water. It was just in the pink can, just drinking colored water. Like I didn't get the use. I didn't get the.
What are you talking about? We're talking about covering a beer tab.
No, I know. I get
not
that.
Tab to drink.
No, I know, but I'm parlaying that into Tab as well.
That's not what you do with this story.
Okay, all right.
I mean, we're talking about Budweiser, and you're talking about Tab.
Well, it just kind of popped in my mind.
All right. Well, you two aren't too Manuch.
No.
All right. A chef says you should never grill burgers because the fat drips away and you lose flavor. They say use a flat top.
Flat top?
Yes.
So okay.
Like a smash burger,
Sure.
Flat top.
Mm-hmm.
They also say be careful grilling filet mignon, pizza fish, pork chops as well. And they said do not come in 4th of July week and tell everybody you're grilling burgers. It's not the way to do it. Everybody grills burgers.
I know it's interesting because
these chefs.
I don't have a flat top. After we did fillets last week, and all I know is I just not have to go get another flat top. It's like, I don't know, about $500 to go get that. But I got my Weber grill. I trust the Weber grill.
All right. Funflation. Funflation is a new word. Everything fun is getting expensive. Concerts, vacations, sporting events, all of it. So the new deal and the new word is called funflation.
I could see that.
If you're traveling this week, travel experts say don't put loose cash, passports, your phone, jewelry, batteries, headphones, glasses, or neck pillows directly in those bins.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Valuables get lost and they get stolen. So put it in your bag real quick.
Well, if I'm flying, I put my stuff right in the bin in front of the seat. You just put that slide down there. What I would, when you're flying, right? You got that get the seat in front of you.
This has nothing to do with it. This has to do with TSA
Yeah,
bins.
when you're flying.
When you're going in the airport to get on the plane.
Oh, I see. I thought about something when you're on
You're
the
not paying
plane.
attention.
No, I am. I'm going trying to figure out.
Did you take it?
Yeah.
All right, here we're going to do. So right now, we're going to do something because Max, I need you to pull the dance of print. It's a throwback Thursday. This wasn't planned. We were going to do this at 3 o'clock or whenever I was going to do it. So I'm going to do it now because Manuch is messed up twice now.
Well, you're talking about
you were talking about tab and we're talking about beer tabs.
Okay.
And now you're talking about the bin in front of your seat.
Yeah,
it has nothing to do with TSA bins and putting the bin rules. So with that being said, Throwback Thursday, about 18 years ago, we created this. We were on another station, so you're gonna hear me, or you're gonna hear something about another station when we were on 3 to 6. Now we're 1 to 4. But just this is something that we created. I created because I needed it. It's a drug that I used to take. It was better than Lexapro, but we called it with Danzaprint.
Does your doctor feel you suffer from a great amount of stress at work? Is your blood pressure through the roof? Are you constantly finding yourself feeling mentally drained from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m.? Has your doctor recently diagnosed you with manuchophobia or the fear of people talking too much? If so, you may be eligible for a free trial of Danzaprint. Danzaprint is an experimental drug that blocks out the constant talking that drives you insane. Your life will be much more pleasant without the fear that you'll not be able to get a word in edgewise when people around you can't stop talking. Danzaprint will be the cure for your case of manuchophobia. Possible side effects of Danzaprint include nausea, indigestion, upset stomach, vomiting, yelling, frustration, the inability to pronounce words with more than 4 syllables, the sudden urge to fire your producer, raising your voice at a car dealership, wanting to hit on a Hooters girl, smoking, the urge to drink, and the urge to put on a yellow jacket and get away for a weekend. If you are truly afraid of people who talk too much, you need Danzaprint.
Oh, good stuff. Gamer, good job. 20 years ago.
Sure.
Yeah, we were on another station. I think that's when Hooters were around. I think they were one of our
Yes, they were.
before we started coming to Twin Peaks. But anyway, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce rumors are wild. Allegedly, a castle inside Madison Square Garden. There's NDAs that had to be signed. The celebrity guests, the security. I mean, this is a multi-day event. I mean,
3 days.
If you need the National Guard at your wedding, just elope. Seriously, this is such a farce.
Can't they go? I
want it to not work. I've already said it's not going to work. I've already told you that. I put that when they started dating. It's not going to work. This is all for show. They're going to last for a few years, and then they're going to get divorced.
You think there might be an over/under in Vegas?
Oh my God, Kashi or whatever that deal is.
I mean, you'd think that they would go somewhere a little more romantic.
Yeah,
I
let's
mean,
go to Madison Square Garden.
That's real romantic.
All right, some super fans are paying huge money to be buried next to celebrities. Like a Marilyn Monroe fan paid $195,000 to have her
urn
her actual casket next to Marilyn Monroe.
Well, wow, and that but she's in a crypt, and you just wonder what's available. That's an interesting. Is there anything available right next to somebody's
maybe
celebrity?
it's pretty close, but I mean, I understand buying a jersey, maybe going to a concert, but spending 6 figures to be buried next to somebody.
That's ridiculous.
All right, a survey says the most judged names are Karen, Chad, Donald, John, but Karen. Here's a little clip from Karen. Karen. You know, I'm sorry if your wife's name's Karen or if you're Karen listening, but majority of the Karens that I have met, I mean, they're in that.
Yes.
Right?
The moniker of that name, it sticks. It's just like, when I hear that, I think of the Karens that are out there that are on tape being Karens, but that's if there's a name with a moniker, that carries volumes. If I'm having a daughter, I am not going to name her Karen.
Not a chance. All right, hey, study says that people who swallow ocean water may get sick from bacteria linked to seagulls' poop. Yeah, less than 3% get sick, but still, that's sick. I mean, you figure these seagulls, they steal fries, they scream at you, they crap everywhere. I mean, when I was a kid growing up in Ocean City, South Jersey, we would get Alka-Seltzer, and we would throw it to we'd throw bread or whatever, then we mix in the Alka-Seltzer, and you see these seagulls just nose dive into the ocean. It was so much fun. So much fun.
To wash it down from that standpoint,
Yeah,
degenerates
great.
you guys were.
Hey, a poll, says 52% of people do not rinse before getting into a public pool. Experts are saying you should because it keeps the dirt, the sweat, the oils, the sunscreen, and the body products out of the water. People who don't rinse were called dry strokers. Dry strokers is the new word.
I remember we rinsed off very good after we got out of the public pool, but I've never heard that before. You're rinsing off, getting into. We would just lube up, go ahead and put your suntan lotion on, what have you, and then jump in the pool. Never before. Getting in and out of the ocean, in and out of public pools, or even pools. Period.
All right,
Always rinsed down.
next guest, Arizona State women's soccer coach Graham Winkworth. He's great. He was in Atlanta for England's match yesterday. He will join us. We'll talk about Team USA. We'll talk about the red card and what's next for Team USA. But here's Max with another ESPN Radio 620 Sports Center update.
Now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Max Brown. The D-backs couldn't complete the comeback against the Giants last night, falling 6-4 in the series finale, despite a 4-run eighth inning led by Ketel Marte. Arizona returns home to open the series against the Brewers tomorrow night, with pregame coverage beginning at 6 p.m. at ESPN 620 and Arizona Sports app. In the World Cup, the knockout stage was on today. Spain and Austria have been battling it out, and Portugal takes on Croatia tonight with a spot in the round of 16 on the line. This ESPN Radio 620 Sports Center update is powered by Twin Peaks. Nobody does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Nobody. Tequila cocktails, premium bourbon, top shelf spirits over ice balls, local craft beers, and those famous Michelob Ultra and Bud Light 29-degree drafts. Pair it all with scratch-made bites that actually satisfy. When it comes to happy hour, Twin Peaks doesn't play.
When it's game time in the Valley, you know what time it is. It's Twin Peaks time. Head to Twin Peaks with 5 Valley locations and massive screens everywhere you look. From basketball, baseball, to hockey, fights, and more, there's no better place to catch every play and all the action. Bud Light is a proud partner of sports fans everywhere. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views. Phoenix, if you need a plumber, call the team that does it the right way. Victory Plumbing Arizona. It's particular plumbing for particular people, with upfront pricing before the work starts, so there's no surprises when the job's done. And here's a deal just for listeners. Tell them you heard Victory Plumbing on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, and they'll waive the service charge. For leaks, clogs, water heaters, or anything plumbing, book today at victoryplumbingarizona.com. ROC number 268603.
All right, son. Time to put out this campfire.
Dad, we learned about this in school.
Oh, did you now? Okay. What's first?
Smokey Bear said to.
First, drown it with a bucket of water, then stir it with a shovel.
Wow, you sound just like him.
Then he said.
If it's still warm, then do it again.
Where can I learn all this?
It's all on SmokeyBear.com with other wildfire prevention tips. Because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Game on Peoria. When it's time to eat big, drink cold, and watch every play, make it Big's American Bar and Grill in the P83 district. Big's is serving up huge portions of your favorites. Burgers, wings, nachos, plus a full bar and TVs everywhere you look. And don't miss happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6:30 p.m. with $2 off well drinks and $2 off domestic drafts, plus daily specials all week long. Bring your friends, grab a seat on the patio, and settle in for the game. Big's American Bar and Grill, where Peoria comes to play, eat, and watch.
Head to Westworld in Scottsdale as we celebrate America's 250th birthday. The largest fireworks display in Scottsdale history and an unforgettable day of family fun, patriotism, and community pride. Enjoy the action-packed 406 rodeo with bull riding, bronc riding, wild pony races, button busting for the kids, and more. Explore the history of Scottsdale Walking Tour. Cheer on competitors at the 4th Annual Cold Beers and Cheeseburgers Summer Slider Eating Contest Championship and the 3rd Annual Water Balloon Championship. See the all-new South Hall Kids Zone, featuring kid-friendly vendors, face painters, activities, and bounce houses. And enjoy everyone's favorite Backyard Barbecue by M Culinary. Plus, celebrate local heroes during the 7th Annual Parade of Heroes. This year, you can reserve front row fireworks seating and secure your spot before Scottsdale's largest fireworks display in history lights up the Arizona sky. Celebrate 250 years of America. Get your tickets today at scottsdaleboard.com. Produced by R Entertainment.
It's Thursday, and welcome to Lodge Mentality. The guys are living at Twin Peaks, Scottsdale, located on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in the 101. Twin Peaks, the ultimate sports lodge and home of the 29-degree beer served in perfectly frosted 22-ounce mugs. Here's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
Silver pull long. Teamery money man there, able to steer it to Adams, flicks it along Tillman. It's got Ballaghan making a run off him. Can he get around with that ball? To the deflection, Ballaghan's gone. For Ballaghan, first to react to the deflection. He'll do the LeBron celebration. It's 1-0 U.S.
All right, we'll get into Team USA in just a moment, but joining us now on the right to guest line, Graham Winkworth, Arizona State University's women's soccer coach. You can follow him at Sun Devil Soccer. And he joins us now here on ESPN Radio Phoenix because I want to talk about your team. I want to find out what's going on with your team there, Coach. I mean, England survived. Wasn't very convincing. What's going on with the Three Lions here? Some cracks? We got to worry about that? What's going on?
I think the cracks have been there the whole tournament. I was at the game yesterday, so honestly, I didn't feel apprehensive. I turned and looked at my son about 72 minutes in, and I said, you know what, I'm starting to worry now. And then obviously King Harry did the rest. But it's not been a very convincing tournament from us from start to finish, and that includes maybe 20 minutes in the second half against Croatia, but outside of that, we've been pretty poor.
So when it comes to the next match, England-Mexico on Sunday, Azteca.
Buddy.
I mean, I didn't realize how good Mexico is at Azteca. I mean, they've won 70, drawn 17. They've lost just twice, 2 losses in nearly 90 games. Why are they winning like crazy on their soil?
Well, there's a whole host of reasons. One, you look at the teams that they've predominantly played, they're not exactly World Cup champions. It's not like they're playing Argentina and Brazil every week over there. Having said that, the record is still incredible, and you've got an amazing fan base that are going to be very, very vocal, and you saw how they were even outside the hotel of Ecuador before the game last week. So you got the fans, you've got the weather, you've got the altitude of about, I think it's about 7,500 feet, which is a little bit different. And England are supposed to be arriving 48 hours before the game, so that's not going to be ideal preparation. And so, yes, incredible record, incredible. And to be honest, when you watched particularly the first part of the game against Ecuador, Mexico were phenomenal. So it's going to be a massive challenge for Mexico. Having said that, I think their record is a little bit deceptive. No disrespect to the likes of New Zealand and El Salvador, but that's a little different to Argentina, Brazil, and England.
Coach, it's interesting watching the Mexican game, and the I don't know who the color broadcaster was talking about how much more Mexico this World Cup is more disciplined and focused. And the athletes, when you hear that, you're like, well, we didn't really pay too much attention. But do you see that as well, too, how they kind of the managers got a little more focused and disciplined? What are they talking about specifically on the pitch?
Well, I mean, I don't think they've conceded a goal for one this World Cup, which is incredible. So they've been very strong defensively. And also, one area that they're particularly strong at defensively is as teams attack. Everyone in the stands is focused on the ball. Everyone is focused on how are they going to score a goal. But more often than not, you don't score a goal and you lose possession of the ball. And Mexico are very disciplined in how they set up for what's called a rest defense. So as you attack, are you prepared for the counter attack the other direction? And Mexico's shape is very disciplined, and so when they lose the ball on one of their attacks, the other team finds it very difficult to counter on them quickly.
Coach, what do you think about Germany getting eliminated and that last penalty kick? I mean, Coach, he missed it. I mean, bad. I mean, not to take it away, but it was like, wow, how could you miss it that bad?
It's always so sad to see the Germans go home so early.
That's so funny you say that. I love it.
Yeah, as an Englishman, I'm devastated to see that. It'd be sad to see the Argentina. It'd be sad to see Argentina leave early too. But it's Germany's a great team, but and they've got a great coach. But reading some of the comments from some of their star players, I'm not sure there was the cohesion that maybe some of the other teams have had within the camp.
Coach, a lot of people coming out of the woodwork to watch soccer, and of course, Team USA round of 16. I believe if my numbers are correct, 3 of the last 4 World Cups they've been here. And I think last time they were here, they lost to Belgium. So they've been here before, but a lot of people are pretty excited that they are at round 16. And a lot of people are questioning that they don't know the rules. We don't know the rules like most people, like you do. Just take us back to that red card. I know you didn't get to see it live, I'm sure, but can you kind of take it back or just kind of educate us on how that all went down and why?
I was watching it on the plane. I didn't have any sound on, so I was watching it on the plane, and it was a little bit spotty. But when I watched it, I didn't see. I saw the same thing as the referee saw live, and that wasn't a dangerous foul of any sort. And so, when you watch it back, I'm not giving a red card for that, but I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that the media is making out. Oh, this is the worst decision ever. I don't think it is. I think it's a decision that I wouldn't have given, but and I think there's no intent on the US player. As he commits the foul, he's looking in a different direction. He's not purposely trying to hurt the opposing player, but ultimately it was reckless and could have broken the guy's ankles. And so I think that's probably what's the reason for the red card. It's dangerous and it's reckless, but it's not one of those that I'd have given, and it wasn't intentional. And I'd understand the frustration from Pochettino for it being given. And what's worse in soccer, compared to some of the other American sports, is sadly now Balogun will miss the next game, not just the rest of that one.
And Coach, is that reviewable, number one? And number two, I thought that was a call that's made on the spot.
Yeah, the call on the spot, I don't think he's given it. It's reviewable through VAR at the time, which is what the officiating crew did. They reviewed it, and I think what hurts the US in that moment is the VAR crew are watching it in slow motion, and if you watch it in slow motion, they kept on playing it, and I'm like, that looks awful. When you're watching it in slow motion, in the speed of the game, it's a very different tackle in the moment when you're playing the game, and so I think it looks worse in slow motion. I think that's what hurt them, and it's not reviewable after the game, and so a red card will stand, and he will be suspended for the next game. But even if it were reviewable, given the amount of attention that's been put on VAR going into this World Cup, I could not imagine FIFA overturning a VAR decision after the game, because it would kind of make them look a little bit silly, and I definitely don't think they're into doing that.
Graham, you are out recruiting all the time for Arizona State. You've been there many years. As an amateur watching the sport, the flopping is just so ridiculous. I mean, are they doing it at the young level, at the youth level as well? I mean, if they're watching this, they're probably like, hey, these professionals are doing it. So does it start at the youth level with the flopping?
It does. Unfortunately, I have to chat with my boy all the time. I'm like, I want you to I grew up, in the 80s and 90s watching English players play, and I'm like, you see the blood all down the shirt and the head and all the rest of it, and you bruise through it and put a proper tackle in, and there's less of that now. If somebody makes contact, I think part of the reason that they're flopping right now worse than ever before is because they want to make sure that VAR reviews things, and so if they sometimes the VAR is not going to review something if they think they don't realize they've missed something. If there's been a potential foul and then the player is staying down and rolling around a little bit, so that the VAR, we better take a look at it then, and then it gets reviewed, and maybe a call gets changed, maybe it doesn't, but yeah, it's not a good look at all.
So as we look to Monday, Coach, you got this Belgium game without Belligan. Who fills that role? How much did they lose? I mean, that kid's phenomenal, to tell you the truth. And can they backfill and win this game? And what's going to take to win this game?
Yeah, no, they definitely can. They played well, even with a man down the rest of the game against Bosnia. And I'm not sure who'll fill that space. I'm a Derby County fan, so I wish that Ajimang was here because I thought he would have been fun to watch in the World Cup. But they've got another player. I'll be honest, I'm not sure if he's played in this World Cup or not. But the guy from Coventry City, I'm having a blank here. I quite like him as well. He's got a goal or two in him as well. So,
Graham, you could just make up a name.
Sure, we would know.
I'd be like, oh, all right, yeah, it's yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now, if you say King Kane,
he's a good player.
It's all right. Hey, Graham, thank you. One more question for you, just because we're going to live vicariously through you. Talk about the atmosphere at a World Cup match like you and your son got to enjoy yesterday. It had to be a great moment for you.
Yeah, it was wonderful. It's different. Like you go to a club game in England and it's very just passionate fans, whereas because I think FIFA's priced out so many passionate fans from traveling and going to games, it's really just people that can afford to buy a ticket and then watching sometimes maybe their first soccer game and so it's a little weird because you've got behind each goal you've got passionate fans from their countries. You can sort of see the colours of their jerseys, and then the rest of the stadium is just a mixture of fans that have managed to get tickets through the FIFA website, and then people that have just bought tickets and go into an experience in a soccer game. So it was weird. The hydration break yesterday, for example, you've got the England fans booing and you've got the rest of the stadium singing Country Roads, and it was like, this is just strange to me. So it's a wonderful experience, but I think I'm still trying to find a ticket to the Azteca for Sunday right now. Actually, if you know anybody selling one, I'm interested, but I'm not going to pay $4,500 for one.
No way.
That's what they are right now. It's so I'm trying to do that, but that would be a different atmosphere altogether because you're going to have 85,000 Mexican fans going crazy, and then another few thousand English fans on top of that. It would be pretty nuts.
Yeah, if London or if England could win that match, what is it comparable to something in the past? Because it would be absolutely enormous, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be a massive game. I mean, I think this World Cup, whether it is partly based in Mexico, it's got some similarities to 1986, which was going back to my first memories of a World Cup when England played actually, I think, in Mexico, and then we actually ended up losing to the hand of God and Maradona's goal, wonder goal, and also the handball goal as well, and so. It'll be pretty incredible. But England, if they're going to progress past Mexico, they've got to play a lot better than they have. And then even if they beat Mexico, the most likely scenario is Brazil, followed by Argentina, followed by France or Spain. So we've got our work cut out.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Graham, thank you. We'll hopefully do this again next week. Appreciate your time.
No problem. Thanks so much.
That's Graham Winkworth. He is the Arizona State women's soccer coach. Been there for many years. You can follow him at Sun Devil Soccer, at Sun Devil Soccer, excuse me. All right, it's coming up. It's our Bud Light Peaks picks. Ladies are 38-16. We got a gift card for you on the line. Be caller number 5 at 602-230-0620. Again, that's 230-0620. I'll get you a few beers and some nice some good food. So caller number 5, 602-230-0620. That's next. Peaks Picks with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B here on ESPN Radio Phoenix. We're also on FM at 98.7 HD2. We're on YouTube currently. and on the Arizona Sports app.
Need to feed a crowd? Let Venencia's bring the flavor to your next event. We know you have a lot of options when feeding a large group. Ordering directly from Venencia's means you get the best service and the absolute best pricing. There's no per person fee. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll come up with a perfect plan to ensure everyone's well fed and happy. Grad party, office celebration, family reunion. Invite Venencia's to the table. Text catering to 411 24/7. That's catering to 411 247 or Venencias.com.
Bigger fields, bigger events, bigger experiences. Arizona Athletic Grounds. Arizona Athletic Grounds is a 275-acre sports and entertainment destination for athletes, fans, and families. Located in Mesa, AAG is one of the largest multi-sport complexes in the country, with over 475,000 square feet indoors and more than 150 fields and courts. From tournaments to training to cheer, dance, concerts, and corporate events, the Grounds does it all. Learn more at azgrounds.com. When hot is not an option, Stay Cool delivers. From patios to warehouses, shops to summer events, Stay Cool's Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube mobile air coolers deliver more air for less money. They're rust-free and backed by more than 40 years of experience keeping you cool. Available now online at Home Depot, Lowe's, and Tractor Supply. Shipped to the store or right to your door. Visit staycool-products.com. Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube. Get yours today with free shipping and beat the heat.
Rock for WrightToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all their innovative web tools on WrightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WrightToyota.com.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Lerner and Rowe, and we've been serving Arizonans for 20 years. Make the best choice after an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Lerner and Rowe, situation go on 977-1900. 977-1900.
The biggest soccer tournament on the planet is going on, and there's no better place to catch every match than Twin Peaks. Watch all the action on wall-to-wall TVs with ice-cold 29-degree draft beer, made from scratch food, and game day specials all tournament long. Twin Peaks is going unmatched for every match through July 19th. Cheer on Team USA or your favorite country at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views. $5 locations.
Are you ready? It's your weekly chance to challenge one of the beautiful girls from Twin Peaks. It's Peaks Picks. The Twin Peaks girls are the essential ingredient to the perfect lodge experience. Each week, our girl next door Twin Peaks contestant takes on an ESPN 620 listener for 3 games. Get the most picks right. Win a $25 man card for one of the 5 Valley Twin Peaks locations: Scottsdale, Phoenix, Glendale, Tempe, and Deer Valley. Now, time for Peaks Picks.
Marissa, how are you? Marissa's it's been a while.
She's our veteran, man.
Yeah, it has been a while.
Is it football season yet or what?
I'm waiting patiently.
Who's your team this year?
It's always the Cowboys, sadly.
All
But
right.
this year
Is
will
anybody
be
else
our
available?
year.
Anybody else available?
Hey, it's our 30-year anniversary, okay, from winning the Super Bowl. We got it this year. I believe in us.
1996. Been a
Yeah.
while.
And
Been a minute.
And that was at Sun Devil Stadium.
Yes.
Yes.
I
Wow.
was in diapers, but
Yes.
here I am.
And you're still a Cowboy fan after all that?
My grandpa's told me great stories about their success. He had like Miller Lite cans with Cowboys on it from the Super Bowl and everything. It's a whole thing.
That's cool. Really cool.
Yeah.
All right. Tell us about, I was talking to one of the owners yesterday and said that at least the Glendale location, because there's a huge predominant Hispanic Mexican following, you couldn't even get in.
Yeah.
It was absolutely packed. And then I heard you guys were packed and Tempe was packed. And
Yeah,
everybody.
It's been so
this has been
fun.
great for business, hasn't it?
Yeah, I actually went to the Tempe location
Oh, you did?
for the Mexico game because I was like, I want to have fun, but I don't want to be at
Don't wanna
work. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
But it was so much fun, and the culture is amazing. Everyone's up there dancing and singing. I heard Camelback actually puts Spanish on the TVs.
Do they really? That's kind of cool.
That's
All right.
different.
All right, Croatia and Portugal is our first match that we need your prediction on who's going to win.
I'm guessing Portugal.
Okay. All right, Max, what's John going with?
John is actually picking Croatia.
Oh,
okay.
Interesting.
All right, second game going to be Mexico and England.
Mexico better win. I'm excited.
So you got Mexico all the
Yeah.
way? You sure?
Not all the way. Just for as far as they can go. I want U.S. to make it.
Oh, okay. All right, what'd John go with there, Max?
He's on his contrarian tip. He's going England.
Whoa.
Contrarian tip.
Nice job. All right. Now, USA, Belgium. Are you working Monday?
Yeah, but morning.
All right. So game starts at 5, so you may have to just stick around.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So USA, Belgium Monday. We need of course, but what's the score going to be?
2-1.
2-1.
I want it to be a good game. Maybe it'll be a shootout. That'd be cool.
Man. If we win.
Yeah.
If not, it's going to be disappointing as heck.
The shootouts are so fun to watch.
Yeah. All right. What's John going?
John's also got USA, but he doesn't have as much faith. He thinks it's going to be a 1-0 game.
1-0. I'll take the W. All right. Tell us what's going on. We know that Michelob Ultra and Bud Light, there's draft specials at what's the draft special at happy hour, 3:00?
Happy hour is going to be $2 off all of our normal, like the man-sized beers, like 22 ounces. But we do have Busch Light now on like the bottles, so that's our special.
So they're
on
aluminums,
Thursday.
right?
Yeah, so that's a new special on Thursdays, which is pretty cool.
But let me ask you. So I'm involved in this business too, but somewhere else.
Mhm.
And our number one seller is Busch Light.
Yeah, it's funny because we have so many Midwestern people here.
They
feel
love
like
it.
Yeah, I feel like it's very Midwestern, and we just got a Twin Peaks Light also
Really?
on tap. Yeah, and it tastes just like Busch Light also. So, people have been very happy.
She's been here. How many years you been here now?
7.
So-
Yeah.
She's a veteran, man.
All right. If you're not a beer drinker, what else you got?
Oh well, right now we just changed our promos. We have $6 vodka Red Bulls, and that's new because you get the whole Red Bull can as well. Yeah, so you get a vodka
Okay.
Red Bull for $6. I think that's a pretty good deal.
It's a great deal.
Yeah,
actually.
that's all day, every day.
Oh, okay. So if you've been working it or you haven't slept all night, you just come in
No
and get a Red Bull vodka. It's good stuff. All right, hon. Very good job. Marisa, good job as always.
you.
Appreciate it. So she's got Team USA 2-1.
Yeah, let's see.
We'll see. That'd be good stuff. All right, Twin Peaks, 5 value locations. Thanks to Michelob Ultra and Bud Light, pouring all summer long. Happy hour 3 to 6. And she's like a natural now.
She is.
She's been on our show like
She
10
just
times.
Oh yeah, and she loves coming on. She goes, okay, hold on, I'll be right there.
It's bartending.
Yeah, that's true. And you know what? She's like, Cowboy fan. I went, oh my gosh. Hey, you know what? That's just something about fandom. I mean, her grandfather's a big Cowboy fan. He's passing it down to her. They haven't won a Super Bowl since 1996 at Sun Devil Stadium, Frank Cush Field.
That's the first Super Bowl I worked. I'll never forget. I was standing on the field during the game, and I see one of my buddies, and it's the south end zone, and it's my buddy AT.
Yep.
And he's in the end zone. He's like row 2. And I said, how'd you get tickets?
No
And
kidding.
he got them outside right before the game started for like $325.
No kidding. That's long.
Remember that? I mean,
oh,
it
yeah.
was like tickets were, maybe $1,000. I remember paying for my dad to go with his friend in Atlanta, and I paid $1,000 a ticket. They were the last row in the stadium there in Atlanta. Now it's $7,000-8,000.
Yeah, I'll never forget that. That week was, I was doing the Cardinals pregame and postgame, but we were at the Devil Lounge right across the river there. They had big parties there. They had all the NFL alumni guys. It was fun because you could go to this venue, to that venue. I even think they did. They hadn't done. Oh yeah, they did. They had to start the football experience right there in the old parking lot.
Yeah.
And that was kind of fun. That was kind of the first of the Mohicans of doing that.
All right, number 3, Dave and Hayes will join us right out of the game. We got Howard Balzer as well. Again, we're out here at Twin Peaks in Scottsdale. It's Roc and Manuch with you today here on ESPN Radio Phoenix.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money. A lot. And that's important. trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, if you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines with Essentials Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data 2H 2025. All rates reserved.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money. A lot. And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, if you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines with Essentials Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data 2H 2025. All rates reserved.
Now open in North Scottsdale. It's the Orangedale Lounge. ODs. Right off Thompson Peak and Bell. Next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club. A one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills. Just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at orangedalelounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
If gambling is no longer entertaining, you have options to help you take back the game. In Arizona, self-exclusion is a voluntary and confidential program that allows you to exclude yourself from gambling at Arizona casinos, betting at Arizona sportsbooks, or both. Getting started is simple, and support is always available. Head to gaming.az.gov/exclude to learn more about self-exclusion in Arizona. For 24/7 problem gambling support, text NEXT STEP to 53342, sponsored by the Arizona Department of Gaming.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports, is ESPN 620.
Double for me, double shot of whiskey. They know me and Jack Daniels got history.
It's Thursday, and welcome to Lodge Mentality. The guys are living at Twin Peaks, Scottsdale, located on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard and the 101. Twin Peaks, the ultimate sports lodge and home of the 29-degree beer, served in perfectly frosted 22-ounce mugs. Here's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
Harry Kane. Still Harry Kane. Let's see Harry Kane.
Sarah King guy's pretty good.
Pretty damn good. Good sized guy.
King Kane, is that what they call
Yeah,
him?
King Kane.
Or Lord Kane, or any of those different monikers. I mean, I don't get it. You see, well, what would you be equivalent to here in the United States? Like, would it be like King James, like King Kane?
Well,
I
that's
mean,
how they look at him. He got both goals. You had the brace, as they say. I mean,
maybe we should ask somebody that's actually English.
There you go.
And David Hayes, director of soccer facilities over there at the Arizona Athletic Ground, was big time instrumental in Turkey being here in Mesa for their base camp in the World Cup, and he joins us now here on ESPN Radio Phoenix. All right, Dave, is this King Kane guy, I mean, is he considered pretty good? I mean, what would he be equivalent to here in the United States?
I think, I mean, he's in the realm of best ever from an English perspective now. You know, I think Bobby Moore is famously in England, 1966, when England last won the World Cup. There's still images of him that show on the TV channels, you know, when international tournaments and international games roll around. And I think, you know, he's got a very good chance of leaving a long legacy behind if he keeps going the way he's going.
So he never has to buy a pint anywhere, right? I mean, he's set.
no, I don't. I mean, to be honest, he's playing in Germany right now. He plays for Bayern Munich, so I'm not sure how he'll be received domestically there with the Germans having gone home already.
Yeah, you like that.
In England, it'll be very well received.
So we had Graham Winkworth on. He is the soccer coach at Arizona State for women's, and he was just on. He's English. He was at the game in Atlanta with his son yesterday, and he doesn't think this England team playing that well at all. Would you agree?
I think I agree with him, but I would also say that, as the English coach Thomas Tuchel said a couple of days ago in an interview, this now is not the time necessarily to be putting in, performances that are memorable. Nobody will look back at the round of 32 if England win the World Cup and go, remember how well we played then. I think it's just about getting through the rounds right now, and I'd say they've come up against a bunch of different tests, and so far so good. They've overcome everything that they've seen so far. So I'm not as negative as I've seen some of the coverage being. I think you've got to win you got to beat the teams that are in front of you, and so far they've done that.
So Saturday, Mexico. They've lost twice in 90 matches on their soil there. Graham was telling us that it'll probably be 85,000 Mexican fans to just a handful of English fans. What's your thought process going into this one? I mean, I'm sure you're ready. I mean, you got your pints ready, and you can't wait to lace them up and watch this one, right, David?
This is by far and away the biggest test that England will have come across so far, and will be, probably for the first time this tournament, the underdogs going into it. I tend to agree. You're at like 10,000 feet altitude, so the air's very thin up there. It's 90, 95 degrees, and you've got 80,000 Mexicans screaming at you. It's going to be a very, very intimidating atmosphere, and it's going to be a struggle for them physically. So if they can do this, I think England have sort of put themselves in the favourites category if they can get through Mexico. But it's a big, big, big if.
And David, what do you see in Mexico this year as opposed to years past, especially this tournament?
I think they've got a younger squad than they've had historically. When you think about the Mexican national team, you think about players like Rafa Marquez, and he was playing for the national team. I think he's 40, 41 or something like that by the time he retired. So you think about an aging team. They do have a good balance of experience and youth, but they've got a lot of players that are willing to run the hard yards. All that, and then it's in Mexico, right? Like they are one of the host nations, so that combining youth and enthusiasm with the home crowd and playing games at altitude in Mexico City, I think, you combine all those things together, they've given themselves a really good chance.
From your side at Arizona Athletic Grounds, and for those, David and I work together, and we walk in our executive meeting on Tuesday, and he's like, he opened up to tell everybody that, hey, today's the first day that Roc has said hello and just didn't want to talk shop. He wanted to talk soccer. You want to talk football, which is cool, right? Hey, how did, in your perspective, I mean, you were instrumental in getting Turkey or FIFA to sign off. How did the experience go for you, and what's the next steps with taking advantage of this World Cup?
Wonderful experience. Personally, obviously, soccer is something that I've been in my life since birth. So to see behind the curtain on what it looks like, feels like to be at a World Cup base camp, once in a lifetime opportunity. So that it was a wonderful opportunity. Arizona Athletic Grounds, I think, as a whole, as a staff and as a facility, did a great job hosting Turkey. Unfortunately, they couldn't convert that into progression into the next round. But I mean, they did put a good performance in against the US in that last group game. So, yeah, it was good. It was very good. And on the horizon, not in the not too distant future, we've got a Women's World Cup coming to the US and a Rugby World Cup coming to the US as well. So, yeah, we'll look to see what happens next over the next few months and years.
David Hayes joining us here from the Arizona Athletic Grounds. Now, what were like the biggest behind-the-scenes demands for maybe Turkey or FIFA that people wouldn't realize, like field security, privacy, maybe recovery areas? Was there anything like that maybe people that, I'm obviously close to it, but I know Manuch is not. Is there things that maybe you didn't expect?
I think you get into a rhythm by the time you've done this for a few days. But the robustness of the security setup every single day, the to and from the hotel, it's not just I guess not just from a training perspective at Arizona Athletic Grounds. Having on that first Monday night, the last time we spoke, we were getting ready for the community day. We had 42 police officers on site that night, as well as 15 additional security staff plus Arizona Athletic Ground security. But these guys were, even if they went to a restaurant, if there was more than a group of 6 of them, they were being escorted by police to wherever they were going. So it was from an operational perspective, working with the city of Mesa, working with Visit Mesa, Arizona Athletic Grounds, just coordinating all of those pieces to make sure that the Turkish team had a good experience while they were here in Arizona. It was good. It was big. It was a big project. Hundreds and hundreds of people from all different agencies across the state. So yeah, big effort, and appreciate everybody's effort pulling it off.
David, were you allowed to go out there and watch? You're part of the complex out there. Just go out there and just to be there, or because you talk about security?
Yeah. There was a handful of us that got the clearances, to be around the totality of the event. So in the performance spaces while they were doing their pre-workouts and doing some of their stretching and some of the activation work that they did in our performance center, and then pitch side watching them train every single day. I'd say, after they lost that first game in the group stage, the training got a lot more tense, in those following couple of weeks where they were, really sort of pushing to qualify for the next round. So it was an intense environment. They're obviously trying to do the best they possibly can. And in the background to all of this, although we don't feel it here, the press in Turkey were, I think it's quite a vicious press circuit, and not progressing for the next round of the World Cup did not go down well back home. So we had there was a large press presence each training session as well. We had maybe 150 Turkish national press that were turning up to the open trains the first 15 minutes of the training sessions. On some of these trainings, the sessions that were immediately after the games that they lost. I gather the president of the Turkish Football Association gave a speech on our stadium field to the press one night, and that made front page news back in Turkey, which was, unbeknownst to us. So yeah, it was an intense environment, but good one.
Did they at every point try to just work on trying to kick the ball towards the goal?
I think they probably should have done a little bit more of that.
And David, the reason why I asked is because I know with the gap between the USA after losing to Turkey and then until taking on Bosnia, the security was extra tight as far as they were reporting. They were working all kinds of new things and what have you, and they were limited as to the amount of who could actually watch practice for the USA team or not. So I just wonder if there was that strict guidelines as well out there.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, exactly that. Apart from that one open training session that we did at the very beginning of the base camp, it was a behind closed doors, locked down. The fence line was wrapped. Nobody could see in, nobody could see out. No drones, no cameras, no flyovers. Yeah, it was a very, very high security, high risk environment.
All right. I was blowing you up yesterday because the red card, because I was like, all right, I need somebody to help me out. Is this going to be a carryover and all that? Of course, you explained it all, but what was your overall take on the call?
I think I would describe it as a harsh red card, but because he's got both feet off the ground when it drags down the back of his calf, the referee can lean in on he's out of control of his body, so it's serious foul play, and then you can give him that red card. And because of that, I don't think, even if they did appeal it, I just don't see that appeal being overturned. And my personal, opinion on referees is if there's an opportunity for a referee to put themselves front and center on the world stage, a referee will do that. So, I think you give a referee an opportunity to make a decision and go look at a screen and, be center of attention for a few minutes. I think that counts against the US. A very, very harsh red card, but one that I don't see being overturned.
David, it just seems so inadvertent to your point. Once he reached for the ball, he's out of control, and it's unfortunate when you slow it down. He does drag his cleats on the back, and then he rolls his, presses his ankle. But I would have thought inadvertent, there was no intent. It wasn't egregious per se.
Correct. Yeah, that would be why I would describe it as a harsh red card, because he clearly is not trying to hurt anybody. No. He's trying to get to the ball, but like I say, it's that rule where he's maybe out of control of his body because both feet are off the ground, that the referee can lean into that. And now the bigger problem, being without him for 10 minutes at the back end of a game is one problem. The bigger problem is now you've lost your biggest threat from open play in front of goal to the next game, and the games only get tougher from here.
David, last one for me. Growing up, and for those that grew up playing soccer in London or anywhere in the UK, I mean, when you're out there training and you're on the pitch and you're doing your drills, are there flopping drills?
Listen, it's cold.
It's so bad, David. It's so bad. It's so bad. Come on.
Flopping classes?
Flopping classes.
It's. I don't think it should be encouraged in the youth game. Let's put it that way. I don't think it should be. But if I'm coaching in a World Cup knockout game and there's an opportunity for one of my players to maybe fall down and maybe get a penalty, I'm probably gonna, maybe I am asking him to feel that contact a little bit more than he should. So, part and parcel of the game now.
David, if the guy gets kicked in the left leg, but he grabs his right leg and rolls over. I mean, should that be, some continuity to that? I mean, I'm just saying.
I know it is bad. It's bad, and it's on the. Here's the thing: is that the opinion of flopping is not. It's just not looked at well in the US. It's commonplace in most European countries and South American countries that have played soccer for a long time, but the traditional American sports, hockey and football, if you flop, it's an embarrassment. So there's a cultural divide here for sure.
It's crazy because last night, we're watching with my buddies at the the bar, and it was like we were gonna do a drinking game. Every time someone put their hands up in the air because they're like, what the, and it's like, but it got to the point where 5-10 minutes in, it's like I would have to shut it off because it happened so much. It's crazy.
And I will say this, David, first time in a long time I've seen a yellow card thrown at a manager on the sideline. That was the first. I haven't seen that in forever.
Yeah, that's the reason you haven't seen that is because they reintroduced these rules where you can basically send a manager off just like you can send a player off. So it's, again, referees, center of attention, all that sort of stuff. So
hey, David,
it's been a great tournament. So yeah,
it has. It has, and it's so important for Team USA to get by Belgium, and if they can, then I think people are going to start really kind of keeping their eyes open because they've been here before. But it's for them to continue, man. And I think for a lot of us, it's summer, it's slow. All right, Monday. And it's like you have something to look forward to. Sure. I know for you, you got Saturday, and I know you root on USA too, but it's just it's great. The timing is great, and we still got a few more weeks, so it should be a lot of fun. But hey, thanks for being our World Cup insider, buddy. Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
I appreciate you, gentlemen. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the fall.
You got it. That's David Hayes joining us from the Arizona Athletic Club. He handles the soccer facility and, of course, everything outside you see out there, and he was instrumental in getting FIFA to have AAG as a host camp, and of course it was Turkey.
I think it's so interesting to hear the backstory of seeing that all set up, how FIFA is and the security is just beyond.
I was part of it. It was, but on a different side. I was not on the field side. I was on the marketing side, And it was hard to get things approved. FIFA's just a monster. Yeah. It's you think the NFL rules. I would think FIFA, well, they're worldwide, goes such another level. So anyway, I do have a couple of World Cup news and notes I'm going to get into real quick. We'll get into that. Then we'll get into back to some NBA, and then we got some Howard Balzer to talk some Cardinal football. Yeah, we got some news to get into it as well. So we'll continue from Twin Peaks in Scottsdale. Roc and Manuch with you today here on ESPN Radio Phoenix, of course. And we're also on FM at 98.7 HC2, the Arizona Sports app, and YouTube.
Game on Peoria. When it's time to eat big, drink cold, and watch every play, make it Big's American Bar and Grill in the P83 district. Big's is serving up huge portions of your favorites. Burgers, wings, nachos, plus a full bar and TVs everywhere you look. And don't miss happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6:30 p.m. with $2 off well drinks and $2 off domestic drafts, plus daily specials all week long. Bring your friends, grab a seat on the patio, and settle in for the game. Big's American Bar and Grill, where Peoria comes to play, eat, and watch.
Hey, it's Kevin Rowe from Lerner & Rowe, trusted across Arizona for helping injured people after serious car wrecks. And I'm Sean Forrester, managing attorney at Lerner & Rowe Law Group. We may sound alike, but Lerner & Rowe Law Group is a completely separate firm focused solely on criminal defense. We handle serious felonies, DUIs, and misdemeanors with decades of courtroom experience. If you're facing criminal charges, don't wait. Call Lerner & Rowe Law Group now at 602-977-1900.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Lace up, Tempe. The Frank Cush Youth Foundation's 33rd annual Runnin' for the Brats is back. Saturday, October 10th at Tempe Beach Park. Part of the Tempe Sister Cities Four Peaks Oktoberfest. Every step supports Lady Hawk softball, girls flag football, the Frank Cush Scholarship at ASU, and kids across our community. Sign up or volunteer at Oktoberfest.run. That's Oktoberfest.run. Give back, run, cheer. October 10th, Tempe Beach Park.
Are you a dementia caregiver? Perhaps you care for your spouse, family member, or friend. Whoever it is, being a dementia caregiver can build relationships and test them. I'm Bill, and I want to thank you for the care you have provided. I've faced similar situations, so I'm speaking on behalf of the Dementia Society of America, a nonprofit organization. Request our free guide filled with tips on care, planning, and much more. Go to 1-800-DEMENTIA.org or call 1-800-DEMENTIA. Thank you.
Home. It's more than a place. It's love, laughter, joy. It's where we belong.
Home is wherever you are, buddy.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you're not only giving them a home, you're finding yours too. You're finding love, laughter, and an unbelievable new best friend. Adopt your very own crypto. Visit bestfriends.org/Supergirl. And together, we will save them all.
Are you looking for career opportunities with great benefits and job growth? How about the chance to make an impact? What we do here at the City of Phoenix matters. 14,000 employees and counting, all dedicated to making a difference in the communities where they live, work, and play. So come join us. Help us do work that makes Phoenix work. You can see all open positions and apply at phoenix.gov/jobs. This message is sponsored by the City of Phoenix.
The U.S. is on the world stage, and there's a lot to get to. This is your World Cup Soccer Update, powered by Twin Peaks. 5 locations across the valley showing you every match, and Michelob Ultra pouring all summer long. Let's get you caught up.
Oh, sweet, sweet. Oh, Mbappe, so sweet. This football is from the heavens. Who on earth stops the French playing like this?
USA, of course, advances now Belgium, so we'll look forward to that. Earlier in the tournament, I don't have it from me which match it was, but one U.S. match drew more viewers than the NBA Finals, the World Series, and the Stanley Cup Final. And then this doesn't even go into account to bars, the restaurants, the public watch parties that you're seeing online. I mean, I can't get over what you're seeing in Dallas and Houston and Boston and Philly and over in California. It's enormous. I'm bummed that we're not doing that. You know, we had a base camp. You know, we had a team here. It would have been really cool if State Farm or I don't know, someone could have jumped on this and done some watch parties like I talked about in my money line segment. You know, these teams are making so much money on, road games. I think if you could have gotten if it's a Michelob Ultra or a Bud Light or somebody like Michelob Ultra or somebody like that, and they found a place, I think you could have gotten, 15, 25,000 people.
Well, I think to your point, the Mexico-England game on Saturday would be perfect because look at the crowd that Twin Peaks has had with all that, especially the one in Glendale with the Mexican crowd.
Well, that's one thing. That's, you can hold 1,000 people. I'm talking mass.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You don't think that State Farm could put maybe 10,000 Hispanic people in there, and those that are from England that are around the.
I would go just for the experience.
Exactly. I mean, you could probably put that one side and put they got the big screens that could show it there. I mean, I think it would just be, with our Mexican population and all the people that are showing up and showing out. I mean, downtown Tempe, they've got them downtown in the middle of by Old Town Tempe. They got a couple of places where there's like 1,000 people out there watching.
Yeah.
And the screens are limited on top of it.
I mean, what are your thoughts? I mean, you have all these international people coming that are here, like they love our country, they love our barbecue, they love the In-N-Out burgers, they love our
Walmart,
they love our Walmarts, they love everything. I mean, that's for you being a Democrat. You must hate that because you don't want anybody to like.
No.
Democrats don't like it here.
No, I'm a capitalist. Okay, I still love I grew up in Arizona, boy, right? You know what? I think for me, I watch Arizona or the states. For them to come over here and to just see what we have, what they don't have. I mean, you see all the interviews. It's like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. He goes, I go to a Mexican. The one guy from Japan goes, I go into a Mexican food restaurant, and they refill my chips over and over again with the salsa, and just little things. I think we take for granted.
I agree.
They're all over that.
What I really like is, whatever cities the schedule permits. There's baseball games for them to go to.
Sure.
In the restaurants, sports bars. I mean, they're on off days. Like last night where I was. I mean, I couldn't believe how packed it was. Yes. I mean, I'd never seen any of these people before. It was great, and these host cities. What a huge major economic boost.
I thought when the Scots were in New York City, that they went the bagpipes, the whole 9 yards, all went to the Mets game.
The Tartan Army.
Yeah, Tartan Army, and
Scotland.
They were cheering, and they were, and they said
great. They're
for
singing.
a Mets game.
Yeah.
They had no problem getting tickets, but they said
of course not.
they brought some light.
So FIFA is on pace for its most profitable tournament ever. Nearly $9 billion is expected from this World Cup. I mean, the ticket resale prices for the final right now have already climbed above $10,000, and sportsbooks are reporting record soccer betting across North America. And on the flip side of it, the demand has been so overwhelming that some fans are now suing StubHub, claiming they paid premium prices, but they never received their tickets. So it's another reminder, folks, that you got to watch out for that secondary ticket market. It's booming, but it comes with a lot of risks, a lot of significant risks.
I remember the first week that happened at a couple different locations. People coming over from England or wherever they're coming from abroad, and they got there and they're out of luck. They traveled, they got the tickets, so they thought they had the tickets. So I think they tried to buy other tickets. They lost their $1,000, and they were trying to buy their tickets up at the nosebleed. So they used a double whammy for a lot of those folks that did not get their original tickets.
All right, so our World Cup coverage is brought to you by Michelob Ultra. Of course, all 5 locations, Twin Peaks, have Michelob Ultra specials going on during the World Cup. And Thursdays are Michelob Ultra days here, as well as Michelob Ultra, Bud Light, and now Busch Light Aluminums here at Twin Peaks. We're at the Scottsdale location. Howard Balzer will join us in a few minutes. But real quick, just 2 days into the NBA free agency, and it's been a full-blown, it's been a frenzy. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely.
I mean, more than 30 of the top 40 available players are already off the board. Of course, the biggest dominoes have already fallen. Giannis is what got it started. Kawhi to Toronto. John Morant to Portland. And then Jaylen Brown yesterday to Philly. It's just can't believe this one. And if you sit back and see the Suns, Luke Kennard, one of the league's best three-point shooters, gets a 2-year deal.
Sure.
And we were talking about this trade. We didn't like it. We didn't like the Miles Bridges. Because we gave up our 2 3-point shooters, we being the Suns fans. But They had a plan.
Yeah. And
clearly.
And you get Kennard on a cheap like that, 2 years, $13 million. Guy that's a proven veteran and played quite a bit this last year versus the Lakers. But you brought it up earlier, 46% shooter, 44% overall, the second leading three-point percentage shooter in the history of the NBA. So I think what we saw in him last year at the Lakers will be a very welcomed addition to fill it up. So right now you got Gillespie, you got him. Booker's not that good of a three-point shooter anymore. I'm sure he could be. But Brea would be that other three-point shooter that could help fill it up if they're down.
All right, so we'll get a lot more into that next week. Of course, we're off tomorrow, but we'll get into Howard Balzer. He's going to join us next. We'll talk some Cardinals. Training camp is just 20 days away. Marvin Harrison, year number 3. So we'll talk to him about that, as well as all the happenings before the Cardinals report to camp. That's coming up next on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. But here's Max with another ESPN Radio 620 Sports Center update, powered by Twin Peaks.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Max Brown. The D-backs couldn't complete their comeback against the Giants, falling 6-4 in the series finale. Arizona returns home tomorrow night to open a series against the Brewers, with first pitch set for 6:40 with pregame coverage beginning at 6 o'clock on 98.7 FM, streaming live on the Arizona Sports app. At the World Cup, Spain is headed to the round of 16 after a 3-0 win over Austria. Tonight, Portugal takes on Croatia with a spot in the round of 16 on the line. This ESPN Radio 620 Sports Center update is powered by Twin Peaks. Nobody does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Tequila cocktails, premium bourbon, top shelf spirits over ice balls, local craft beers, and those famous Michelob Ultra and Bud Light 29-degree drafts. Pair it all with scratch-made bites that actually satisfy. When it comes to happy hour, Twin Peaks doesn't play. Twin Peaks. Each drinks, scenic views.
Happy hour is happening at Twin Peaks, Monday through Friday, 2 till 6 p.m. With reverse happy hour, Sunday through Thursday, 10 till close. Plus, grab 22-ounce Michelob Ultra drafts every Thursday and Saturday, 22-ounce Bud Light drafts every Sunday, and new on Thursdays, $5 Busch Light 16-ounce aluminums. 5 Valley Twin Peak locations, cold beer, scratch-made food, and wall-to-wall sports. Twin Peaks, tell them Roc and Manuch sent ya. Phoenix, if you need a plumber, call the team that does it the right way. Victory Plumbing Arizona. It's particular plumbing for particular people, with upfront pricing before the work starts, so there's no surprises when the job's done. And here's a deal just for listeners. Tell them you heard Victory Plumbing on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, and they'll waive the service charge. For leaks, clogs, water heaters, or anything plumbing, book today at victoryplumbingarizona.com. ROC number 268603.
Finding yourself skipping your self-care routine, experiencing things around you others don't, or withdrawing from friends and family. You might be experiencing first episode psychosis, or FEP. Stress, trauma, substance use, even genetics can trigger it. And if you're in your late teens to mid-20s, it's impacting you more than others. Know the signs of FEP. Go to learnmorefep.org. Sponsored by MatForce, working to build healthier communities.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
It's that time of year across Arizona. Working in high temperatures can cause a workplace injury. Cramps, rashes, exhaustion, dizziness, even heat stroke. Know the signs and protect yourself from a heat stress injury. Get plenty of water, rest, and shade while at work. Learn more from the Industrial Commission of Arizona. Just visit azica.gov/heat. This message is sponsored by the Industrial Commission of Arizona.
He's been covering the National Football League for close to 50 years. A longtime NFL writer, broadcaster, and co-host of the Pro Football Hall of Fame show on Sirius XM. A Hall of Fame voter, Howard Balzer. Now on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
All right, we're about 3 weeks away from training camp, so we got to ask Howard, what's the biggest question the Cards absolutely have to answer by week 1? Howard, clock is on.
The biggest. I know you asked me something similar last week, I guess it was, and I went down a list of about maybe 4 or 5 things. But if you want to limit me to the biggest.
Yes.
Biggest.
The biggest.
Well, aside from who the darn quarterback is going to be, although some would say, does that matter that much? I'll what's that?
No, you're right. Your point about the quarterback doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, although I will say, as I pointed out, I think with the skill set around the quarterback, at least at the skill position, I think there's an opportunity there to at least be a competitive offense. But a lot of that depends on the offensive line. And I mentioned that in the list. I would say that's probably the biggest, and in terms of who's especially the right side of the line. I think the left side of the line, starting with the center, is pretty darn solid. The big question is Isaiah Adams the right guard, or is it the rookie Chase Passan? Is Elijah Wilkinson the right tackle, or does someone else on the roster step up and win that job? Whoever the two guys are to open the season, they're going to be a big key in terms of that offense being consistent and productive. And while I say consistent, that's obviously the key in the NFL. NFL teams, guys, I think they tend to tease us because even if a team isn't playing well or isn't great, they'll still have good plays and they'll still move the football, right, on offense. Whoever the quarterback is, if they have decent players around them. Where it really plays out is on third down, in the red zone, in the fourth quarter. Those are the times when having that offensive line that gives you balance and enables you to do different things will play out. So I think that's the biggest question of what that line is going to look like week 1, and then obviously how they play once the games begin.
Howard, I agree with you. I really believe that as that line goes, so that offense, and to your point, Basantis being the rook, and then having all the other veterans, especially the veterans on the left side, Siamula, Johnson, and Froholt, how that rook responds going through, 4, 5, 6 games into the year. But I would also think that LaFleur would want to stick with that offensive line, even if the young guy starts to struggle to develop that chemistry and continuity, because he has nothing to lose with this first year as under Rel.
No, you're 100% right. And but I'm not one to sleep on Isaiah Adams. I mean, I think, the guy's been in and out of the lineup somewhat over the last 2 seasons. He's still a young guy, and I think he played better overall than a lot of people give him credit for last year. But obviously there's a reason that the Cardinals drafted Basantis in the second round. So that will create, some strong competition. But you're 100% right. Continuity on the line is the biggest key, whoever your 5 guys are. I'll go back to the New York Giants offensive line in the year that they beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. They weren't a great team during the year, but they were in the playoffs. They were a wild card team. I think they won 9 regular season games. And they didn't have a Pro Bowler on that line. They were playing a guy at left tackle, David Steele, who was out of position. He was really a guard. But that entire line of 5 guys never missed a start during the entire season and might not have even missed, if they missed a handful of snaps, that was about it. But they had that continuity, and that enabled the offense to have some semblance of consistency. and that's a huge thing. That Cardinals, throughout the roster haven't had consistency at units over the last few years because of injuries, and that's still the biggest question they have to answer this season is somehow can they avoid those debilitating injuries that have totally, messed up their seasons in several over the last few seasons.
And on top of that, Howard, it affects the play calling and for LaFleur. But I remember you bring up a good point of reference to the Super Bowl year for the Cardinals. They said, going into that first game against Atlanta, they won, end up beating Philadelphia, and they go to the Super Bowl. They said that was the most healthiest group of players that they had, even after that debacle in New England. But going to the playoffs, the continuity, and for Todd Haley as the OC, he said he knew he could rely on his receiving, but most important, the offensive line was based on a lot of the calls that Kurt Warner or adjustments they had to make.
There's absolutely no question. And I'll take you back to 1999. I was in St. Louis for that Rams season, and many of them, obviously. Kurt Warner was the quarterback. And yes, they had Orlando Pace at left tackle, and they had Adam Timmerman at right guard, who they had signed as a free agent that offseason. But I'll bet most people, even in St. Louis, might not remember who the other three offensive linemen were. And they went into that summer not knowing who the left guard, center, and right tackle were going to be. And they turned out to be guys, and you guys, if you can remember, Tom Newton at left guard, Mike Rudidoria at center, and Fred Miller at right tackle. And they didn't miss, only Newton missed 2 games the entire season. So basically their line was intact for that whole year, blocking for Marshall Faulk and protecting Kurt Warner and opening up possibilities for Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt and Ricky Prohl and Oz Hakeem. So that line was, the key to it all. And like you said, the continuity and stability is huge for any NFL team. And, I go back, guys, I might have mentioned this before, to the Rams season after they won the Super Bowl a few years ago in L.A., right? They win the Super Bowl. The next year, going into the next season, Andrew Whitworth, who, of course, now is on the Thursday night pre- and post-game show, he retired. Their center, John Sullivan, retired. Then the guy they had, I think it was a guy named Joe Noteboom, is supposed to fill in, be the guy to replace Whitworth. He gets injured during the season. And their offensive line had like 13 different starters throughout the season. And here's a team with John McVay as the head coach, right? Generally recognized as one of the best play callers in football. They won 5 games that season. 5. And they couldn't do anything consistently on offense because of the issues on the line. And so that, like I said, that's the key for every team. It's always one in the trenches. And what I always laugh at, guys, is when people will talk about the offensive line going into the season. Oh, the line has to play well. The line has to play well. And then what happens is when the line doesn't, and they have injuries or whatever it might be, and the offense isn't performing, does anybody talk about the line? No, they all say, oh, the play caller stinks, or the quarterback stinks, or whatever it might be. And everybody has what I call, collective amnesia, that they forget what they said about the offensive line, and no one talks about it on the line. I'll give you another example. The Chicago Bears last season. In the offseason, going into last year, changing the head coach, they made 3 changes on the interior of their offensive line at both guard positions and center. They had, I think, I'm trying to remember, if 2 of them were trades and 1 was a free agent. And all of a sudden, their whole line was totally different than it had been the year before. And who did anybody talk about during the season? Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams, who completed, by the way, fewer than 60% of his passes. But that improved line that remained mostly healthy throughout the season was a huge part of that success that the Bears had, and yet nobody talked about.
And then, Howard, let's go to the other side, the other trenches that I'll be very, very interested to see how it pans out. If you're going to go with the 4-3 front, let's look at the front 4. Look at Josh Sweat, Roy Lopez, and then Walter Nolan, hopefully comes back and ready to go. And then Darius Robinson, ... Kenny, Can those two guys on that right side maintain a consistency? I think he'll be fine on the left side, that defensive line. But again, I think the question mark for me is Darius Robinson and Walter Nolan.
We saw an impact that Walter Nolan made immediately when he got on the field last season. Unfortunately, he wasn't out there very long. So I don't have as many questions about him. Darius is a big question mark. And he had the big injury this rookie year. Last year, he had a slight missed 1 or 2 games and was better in the second half of last season. But he wasn't making the impact big plays. A lot of times, you're not going to have a guy making a lot of those impact big plays. You're just doing well enough, stop the run for the whole line, and then create pass rushing situations. I still think this looks like to be a base 3-4 defense with Lopez as the nose tackle. I wouldn't sleep on a guy that they signed, Andrew Billings, in free agency. I see this story written and referred to a lot about how the Cardinals' defense has to improve and that they basically ignored the defense in the offseason. Well, they didn't make any splash signings, but they signed Lopez. They signed Billings. They signed Jack Gibbons as an inside linebacker. They signed Andrew Wingard to the back end with losing Jalen Thompson. So the key will be Nolan being healthy. The key will be getting back Garrett Williams. The key will be Will Johnson staying healthy and Mac Wilson, Sr. I mean, everyone talks about how the defense, and I'm going to be writing the story soon heading into camp. Oh, it's all the defense. Look what they played the second half of the season. Well, they were actually not bad in the first half. I have some numbers to back it up. I won't go into them now. It'll be on Cards Wire coming up in the next couple of weeks. They were pretty solid in the first 8 games of the season. Then Mac Wilson got hurt. Johnson missed games. Nolan came back, missed games. Other guys missed games. And they were obviously not – they were pretty bad in the second half of the season. I think with the improvement in depth with who they signed and getting that improvement, like you said, from Darius Robinson and, developing another pass rusher opposite Josh Sweat, then I think they can at least be a competitive defense and not play like they did in some bad games last season. But a lot will depend on the offense, too. I looked at this, guys. The time of possession for the offense in the first half of the season was about an average of 5 minutes more than it was in the second half of the season. So when you're putting that defense and they're playing with backup on the field too much, well, guess what? They're going to get victimized at times, especially by really good teams, which were the ones that created those blowouts in the final 9 games of the year. So people, I think, forget many times what a complementary game football is. We segment offense, we segment defense, we segment special teams, but they all have an impact on each other. And the special teams also were, questionable in the second half of last year, losing the punter. Chad Ryland wasn't as good with new holders, for a good part of the season after Blake Gilligan got hurt. So all those little details add up, create what happened last season. And somehow they hope they'll be able to avoid a lot of that this year.
Good stuff as always, Howard. Have a good 4th. And when are you going to make your trek out to Canton? Are you going to get there? You going to start driving now, or the private jet's going to take you there for the Hall of Fame ceremony?
That's the one thing I miss about there's not a lot of I miss a lot about I miss a certain amount about St. Louis being there as long as I did. But when I went to Canton, I got in the habit. I drove there. Like you said, I've had my own car already. About a 7-8 hour drive. Not bad at all. No way to drive from here because then you waste 2.5 3 days.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be going there the Wednesday. I think it's August 3rd, maybe 4th, 6th, whatever it is, 5th, 6th, whatever. I think August 5th. The day before the game, and I'll be able to go to the Cardinals game, which I wasn't able to do last year for reasons that will be known coming up soon. But be able to be there for that, and then of course the enshrinement that I've been there many years doing shows for Sirius XM, and being there for Larry Fitzgerald enshrinement. So that's going to be a fun weekend.
About 4 weeks, just over 4 weeks. So be here before you know it. Howard, thank you, buddy. Have a good weekend. Happy 4th.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
Howard Balzer joining us at 8 Balzer 721, Pro Football Hall of Fame voter, of course, part of Cards Wire at USA Today and SiriusXM NFL Radio. All right, our Learner Row one call, that's all, will be Graham Whitworth, who was on with us earlier, Arizona State soccer coach, on England versus Mexico, the big one on Saturday night in Mexico. We'll get into that next. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B here on ESPN Radio Phoenix.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
When it comes to your roof, you don't want to mess around. And Arizona homeowners and business owners have known that for over a decade. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer. Residential, commercial, they do it all. And they've been doing it right here in the Valley for over 10 years. Protect your home, protect your business. And hey, keep your roof sexy with State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509. State 48 Roofing, Arizona's most trusted roof.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selection. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at wrighttoyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out wrighttoyota.com.
I was in a wreck. I need a check. I was in a wreck. I need a check. I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. The insurance company's job is to pay you as little as possible. Our job is to get you every dollar you deserve. Call Learner Rowe today and let's make them pay. Call 977-1900.
Hey, Arizona State football fans, London is calling. The Sun Devils are headed across the pond to face Kansas in the inaugural Union Jack Classic, September 19th at Wembley Stadium. It's the first college football game ever played there, and you should be part of it. For tickets, hospitality, and travel packages, visit UnionJackClassic.com or contact the Sun Devil ticket office. Join Coach Dillingham, Sparky, and the Sun Devils in London. Forks up.
Are you looking for career opportunities with great benefits and job growth? How about the chance to make an impact? What we do here at the City of Phoenix matters. 14,000 employees and counting, all dedicated to making a difference in the communities where they live, work, and play. So come join us. Help us do work that makes Phoenix work. You can see all open positions and apply at phoenix.gov/jobs. This message is sponsored by the City of Phoenix.
It's the Learner and Rowe one call, that's all call of the day. If you're looking for a full-service law firm, just make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. Learner and Rowe voted Arizona's best law firm.
It'll be pretty incredible. But England, if they're going to progress past Mexico, they've got to play a lot better than they have. And then even if they beat Mexico, the most likely scenario is Brazil, followed by Argentina, followed by France or Spain. So we've got our work cut out.
Great Wickworth, Arizona State's University soccer coach for the women. Has been with us over the course of our World Cup coverage, thanks to Michelob Ultra and Twin Peaks. But England and Mexico, wow. It's
There'll be a row of England fans and then 80-some thousand Mexican fans at Azteca.
You know, we're talking about Kane, the superstar who actually plays for a German team, and he's get paid stupid money. But it's ironic because the English do not like the Germans.
Not at all.
I mean, not at all. And it's kind of weird that the biggest player, one of the biggest players ever to play for England or from England, is playing for a German team. That's the weirdest part about here we are, our coach, our manager, or whatever they call it in soccer, is Argentinian, and he's not from the United States. It's just, I don't get that.
Mauricio Pochettino.
I don't get it. I don't get it. It's like, unless if he was born here or his parents are Argentinian. But I don't know.
Yeah, I can't figure that out. All I know is like there are many Americans that were born here that went over and played in Europe. Where they're raised in Europe.
Yeah.
So that's why you hear the accent. But the one kid, his mom, and he was here in New York City. He was born here, was here till 2, and then they went up back overseas. And but if you're of American origin, you can play. Now, Pochettino, that is interesting. I mean, how that happened.
And then there are some superstar players that were born here, but because their parents are Croatian, or they're from Brazil, they're playing for those teams.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? I mean, yeah, there was one guy, I think it was the Swedish team, American kid, but he was born over there, or whatever the situation was. I've never been able to just figure that out, how that whole thing works. But if your origin or point of origin, you were born in a country, or the family is from, you're able to go play for that team. You can't play for the USA team. But I think it's fun learning the background of a lot of these, like Balogun. I mean, here's a kid that you go, okay, he was born here but raised overseas. Now he's back. And to see guys, the athleticism we haven't seen, but to watch so many of these soccer teams, just the athletes. I mean, the Norwegians, they're a big group of guys. I mean, is it Hagen? Yeah. And he's a big dude, 6'2", 220, the way he can put the ball in the net. Kane, 6'2", 185 pounds. And it seems like over in Europe, maybe not so much here, the soccer players getting bigger over in Europe. I mean, we look at our American football, our guys are getting bigger, stronger, faster. You look at a lot of the overseas players, Norway, Sweden, Mexico. I mean, it's all over the place that the players are getting bigger. I mean, Pele was maybe 5'8", 5'10". Beckham was maybe 5'10". Some of those guys of years past. I mean, look at Messi. He's barely 5'10". I mean, some of those guys aren't that big at all.
There's a kid, Richard Ledesma. I mean, he's from here, plays for Mexico, born in Phoenix in 2000, grew up here, played youth soccer here before he went over to the Real Salt Lake Academy. Completely came up through the U.S. soccer youth system. Started for U.S. in 2019 in the Under-20 World Cup. And even got a senior U.S. men's team cap for a 220 friendly in 2020. But he's playing for Mexico.
Yeah, it's just interesting how the dynamics of how this team plays that team. But yes, that England-Mexico game is going to be just interesting. Just the fandom that'll be there. It's kind of like you'll see all green, those green jerseys that Mexico's wearing right now, and you might see 2 rows of white, if that, with a white jersey.
All right, no local television tonight. Diamondbacks will entertain Milwaukee this weekend. Then they'll head to San Diego and Los Angeles. What's on Tap brought to you by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Bud Light, the official partner of Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B at all 5 Twin Peaks locations. Twin Peaks each drinks and scenic views. So I figured close out the show with a little Star Spangled Banner, a kind of a montage of multiple different artists. So if Max gives us the okay, we will say goodbye and wish everyone a happy 4th and we'll be back on Monday. Is that the green light we get from Max?
Green light. Music started.
All right, buddy. Happy 4th to you. Everyone have a safe 4th. And remember why we are celebrating the 4th.
Right.
And it should be a lot of fun, the 250 and everything that's going on in D.C. So back on Monday. Till then, have a safe weekend and happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th, everybody.
Patrick Monahan of Train.
Through the night.
Joe Piscopo.
That this glorious flag was
Tracy Yearwood.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave?
Ariana Grande. The hologram of Whitney Houston.
Hey, I'm not one to say I told you so, but do you remember last year when I told you that Pure Talk was hands down the best wireless company that I'd ever used? Well, some of you were skeptical, but Consumer Reports just asked 120,000 people to rate every wireless company in America, including the big boys. Well, guess which company was the only company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. Coverage, support, value, data. 5 stars across the board. No service contracts, no cancellation fees, just great U.S. customer service on a crazy fast 5G network for a fraction of what you've been paying. I'm not going to say I told you so, but I will encourage you one more time to dial pound